Welcome to the show on a Friday. A little hoo-ha going on. Solana can probably speak to it better than me and you, Crowder. Did you see what Bam Adebayo said after the game yesterday, Crowder?
No, what'd he say?
So he said, now, granted, he was talking about being a play-in team, but he said, I don't want to be in this bleep no more. We're better than being in the play-in the last 4 years. And so people are extrapolating that a little bit. Like, how far are you from saying, I don't want to be here anymore? If you're saying, and we've had this conversation, and it makes a lot of sense to me, where Bam would say, okay, I've been patient. I've heard the rumors. Dame was coming and Giannis was coming and, and I don't want to be a play-in team anymore. Makes all the sense in the world. So do you think we're getting to a spot where Bam is demanding to be moved in the offseason?
I don't think Bam is. I think Bam is Heat culture, but name the top 25 players and Bam might make it, and his counterparts aren't going to make it. Are they?
No.
Is Norman Powell going to make the top 25 basketball players in the world? Is Tyler Hero going to make the top 25 basketball players in the world? It's not going to happen, and he has to recognize that, to be honest, and that's what I took from that. I didn't even hear it. When you said it, I thought about it, and I just pulled up top 25 NBA players, and they don't even have Bam on there.
So you could see where he would want to go to a team that has some superstars. He hasn't been able to play with one since Jimmy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What are we? What are we doing? This is a play-in roster. Is a whole thing I've said, and myself and Solana, we've argued a number of times about it. This is a play-in roster, and that's why I think the NBA comes to.
I wish I could argue otherwise, but the results speak for themselves. The Heat have not beaten a team with an above 500 record going back to late January when they beat Phoenix on the road. By the way, Devin Booker didn't play in that game. So to find their last victory where everybody was available in the game, you have to go back to mid-January when they beat Oklahoma City at home, probably their best win of the year. Every other win has come against below 500/tanking teams. By the way, they've also lost to a couple of those teams, and now they get their opportunity, 2-game road trip, to go and gain some ground in the East. Important stretch. They beat the really bad teams. They lose to Milwaukee. They had a chance down the stretch, and then yesterday they take a 1-point lead. Tyler Hero, 5-0 run. They led for 39 seconds, and after they took that lead with 3 minutes to go, they got outscored 8-0 the final 3 minutes of the game, and they lost. They're not good in the clutch this season. And more importantly, they can't stay healthy. But Hoch, as it pertains to Bam's comments, you remember, or I do, what he said last year after the Heat got embarrassed in the first round. He was asked after the game or his exit interview, do you anticipate changes? And he said, I don't remember the exact quote, but it was like, based on how the guy with the silver hair works, I imagine there's going to be changes. And other than adding Norman Powell, which, by the way, that's not just like Norman. Like, that was a good addition.
He was an all-star. Good addition.
Right. Good player.
But clearly it hasn't had the results translate to where the Heat want them to translate, which is the win-loss column.
I just find it funny, and I don't know if it's funny or ironic or just interesting, but the Heat for the longest have been Bam's untouchable, Bam's untouchable. We're building around Bam. And I wonder if that ends up coming back to haunt them where he goes, yeah, I want out. And they've had opportunities maybe. Maybe they could have gotten Giannis if they had packaged in Bam. And I totally would understand Bam saying, I want out. I want to go to a winning team. I don't want to be in the play-in tournament every year. I don't want people pointing at me. I listen to Hochman, Crowder, and Solana. I don't want them giggling about my over-under being 17.5 all the time. I think he went over, by the way. He had 18 last night, I think.
No, Bam had 30 points last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he went way over.
He balled.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the offseason he was like, yeah, I don't want to keep doing this. It's no fun to be, at some point you're not in your prime. It's no fun to be spinning my wheels in a play-in tournament every year.
He's year 9, right, Solana? 9 or 10?
Bam is in year 9.
Like what is he chasing? He's a great 3. He might be able to be a solid 2, not a great 2, but he's an amazing 3. He can go be Chris Bosh somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
About big threes.
And
why can't we get him a 2 and a 1 to make him the 3?
Wouldn't it be easier for him to go somewhere where he just is the 2 or the 3? Because he is a highly desirable talent. Mm-hmm. That guy, if the Heat said Bam Adebayo is available, teams would line up. It's a lot easier right now, as the Heat have found. It's a lot easier right now if Bam wants to be a champion. It's a lot easier to get him to a team that's championship caliber than to build a championship caliber team here when it seems like they're a few miles away from that.
And what's going to stop Bam from doing that is Heat culture. It's Riley. It's drafted him. It's all of that. But Bam's going to have to look at what he wants his Wikipedia to look like in 10 years over the culture stuff. And that's going to be something
everybody wants a championship. That's why it makes all the sense in the world. Listen, that's why Dame loved Portland. Dame Lillard loved Portland. He loved everything about being a trailblazer. He went back. Yeah. But he got to the point where he's like, I want to win a championship. I want to be an NBA champion. I'm willing to leave this place that I love to go be an NBA champion. And that doesn't mean that he loved Portland any less. In fact, he had second thoughts that season, that offseason, when he requested the trade. So, I would have no ill will towards Bam if he said, hey, I stuck it out for almost a decade, just hasn't worked, and I want to go win a championship.
I would.
You would have a problem with Bam going on in year 10 to another team to go win a championship, go get a ring.
If Bam tries to force his way out, I wouldn't be happy about that.
Wait a second. You were thrilled that Giannis is forcing his way out and he's got a championship. You were thrilled that Dame wanted to force his way out. He didn't have a championship. Why would you hold it against Bam?
Because he's leaving my team. What the hell kind of question is that? No, but seriously, hold on a second here. Let's hold our horses here for a second, because Bam Adebayo, and you guys know I love Bam. I love Bam probably more than anybody else. And I genuinely believe like the way Bam is viewed is wildly misinterpreted in terms of how he translates to the fact that the Heat have a top 5 defense every single year, or top 10, that he's been on the team. And it's because of him and his game, whether Crowder wants to admit it or not, or he wants to call him a Toyota Tercel, which is wildly disrespectful, has grown every single year on the offensive end. But people want him to be Joel Embiid. And he's just flat out not. He does other things that Joel Embiid doesn't, which, by the way, availability is one of them. And that never gets thrown around in the conversation.
Wait a second. You're having a different conversation than I'm having, because I'm a big fan of Bam as well. You're giving me all the Bam resume points, and I'm not interested in it. I'm just curious if you think he might ask for a trade.
We love Bam too, Solana. He's not a Tercel. He's a Mitsubishi Diamante. But
I said
he is a very good 3. He's not a 1 or a 2 on the championship team. He's a 3. So you'll be mad if Bam goes and is a 3 on a championship team, because that's how he's going to get his ring.
Well, what I was going to say, I couched all that because I was going to say, hey, Bam, the Heat this year aren't very good in the clutch. And your numbers in the clutch this year are pretty effing bad. So maybe if you don't want to be a play-in team and you're on the road and you have a 1-point lead, maybe don't get taken to the rack by VJ Edgecombe. Maybe close out on Joel Embiid and don't leave.
Or put me on a team with VJ Edgecombe and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey.
To that point, Hoch, Bam is not built like that. 1 point difference. 1 minute left. Bam's not going to go get you 4. That's the guy that I want. You give me a hard time about the guy that I want. I want a KD. I want a Steph. I want those guys. Bam's not that guy. Bam is a extremely great number 3 on a championship team.
But I genuinely don't understand what you want to do. So you have the perfect complementary player to a superstar in Bam Adebayo, right? Like
No.
the
2
perfect complementary
superstars.
player.
2 superstars. He needs 1 and 2. He's 3.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I don't think
Jesus.
Bam is capable of being the second best scorer on your team, but the second best overall player. I mean, without a doubt, he's more than capable, which is why so many top tier players that he played on Team USA with value Bam and are considering coming to Miami to play alongside Bam. But with that being said, Crowder,
Who wants to play alongside Bam?
A lot of guys. Kevin Durant.
A lot of guys.
Has
I mean,
talked
that's
about
why.
So
that's why
why don't they come?
Him.
Why? So is that a Pat Riley problem? Why don't they come and play
you don't have other
alongside
assets?
Bam?
That's been the problem. They don't have other assets.
And Crowder, you can't. The NBA. We talked about this at the trade deadline. The NBA, because of the first and second aprons, because of the CBA, has changed dramatically. You don't acquire players via free agency. They don't hit free agency. That's been the Heat's mantra, which is why fans, including myself, were frustrated at the deadline because you have to at some point pivot. You have to at some point adapt. And the Heat have refused to adapt. So I don't see why you would just say, bleep it, let's get rid of Bam Adebayo, let's trade him, even if he's a little upset this offseason.
I'm not suggesting that the Heat would say, bleep it, let's get rid of him. I'm suggesting Bam may have reached a boiling point, and you started to see the bubbling of the boiling last night when he's like, I don't want to do this. Because think of it, Ira had it in the Ask Ira column. It was like, let's say they play themselves out of the play-in. The celebration is, hey, we're number 6.
We're number 6.
You know what I mean?
6.
Like that's
number
what
6.
Yeah, that's what they're gunning for. That's not what the Heat are gunning for, but it is what they're gunning for the last 4 years is to be number 6 in the East. And so I just think maybe at some point Bam says, "Hey, I'm a decade into my NBA career. I've given it the old college try. Thought we had something special with Jimmy. We did. Just didn't translate to a ring. But now I want to go somewhere where I can be the complementary piece that puts them over the top."
Or you stay with the team that gave you a 3-year, $162 million
you're
max
going to hold
extension.
him to a different standard than every other athlete in the world?
He's not making more money than anybody. The money's not a part of this.
Making $50 million next year.
I know, and there's people making 70 million. Aren't there people making 70?
Panthers last night was electric before the puck dropped. Matthew Tkachuk and Austin Matthews, both part of Team USA, the gold medal winners. They had the ceremonial puck drop, and then Matthew Tkachuk skated around the ice with the American flag, and the crowd was chanting USA, USA. It was really cool. And then the Panthers went out there and just pounded the Maple Leafs for 3 periods, and I'm back on board with the Panthers. I actually think they run the table over the next 24 games.
4-0, huh?
UM baseball, I'm very interested in this. UF college baseball starts tonight in Coral Gables, and we know UM is undefeated. This is going to be the first real test of the young season. I'm guessing Crowder's going over. Look at that. He's showing his Florida Gators helmet. He is not pretending to call the Canes us, which he did throughout the national championship run for the football team. Referred to the Canes as us all the time. Looks like he is back on Team Zaxby's.
Yeah. Fernando Mendoza whooped y'all's ass, didn't he?
Headlines. Clay Ferrero is going to join us. Lee Sterling is going to join us. And super cool, Aronde Gadsden's son, Aronde Gadsden II, who we talk about every week during football season when OG is on with us. OG II is in South Florida, and he's going to join us today, and we can catch up with him. So we have a loaded potato on this Friday. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
The Miami Heat did lose last night, obviously, and they have dropped further back of the Philadelphia 76ers for the 6 seed, the much-coveted 6 seed.
I almost want Bam to leave so he can go get a ring because he'll never get a ring here. He'll going to play another 5 years, 6 years, 8 years.
I would be thrilled to see him as an NBA champion.
Go get a ring.
I love, like, I don't begrudge someone who's given you everything as much as he can give. I mean, Solana talked about it in his defense that wasn't needed of Bam, but he talked about it. This dude's available more than 90% of NBA players. That guy's out there balling. I have nothing but mad respect and mad love for Bam Adebayo. And if he's at the point where he's like, yeah, I don't want to do another season where we move a couple of deck chairs on the Titanic, and then everybody's waiting for me to all of a sudden put up numbers that I can't put up. Like, I don't want to do that anymore.
I'd love to see him win a title too in Miami.
Let him go to OKC. Get rid of the big skinny guy. Bring in Bam. He'll win a title.
Chet Holmgren?
Yeah, him for Chet. Let's trade him for Chet. We're good to go.
Okay. All right.
Make it happen, Solana.
I see what you're saying, by the way. I don't want you to think that I'm being irrational about it. Yeah, my emotions come into play when I think about Bam wanting to leave because I don't want Bam to go have success elsewhere. I want it to happen here, but I do understand why he's at the point where he's like, hey, again with our team not staying healthy.
Exactly similar to Dame Lillard. And any Portland fan that was pissed that Dame wanted to go win a title when it was obvious Portland did not have the talent to win a title, and they weren't going to at any point, it was obvious that if he wanted to win a ring, he needed to go somewhere else. And to me, if there were Portland fans that were like, oh, the hell with Dame, then shame on them.
Isn't it Bosh with the Raptors? Bosh is a Hall of Fame player. He was never going to win with the Raptors. He was never going to
win being the number one with the Raptors, which is exactly what he was. Yeah.
It's exactly what Bam is. Bam is a 3. You go give Bam $2 to play with, Bam is going to thrive. We talk about the big 3, LeBron, Bosh, Wade. We're talking about that. We need to be realistic of what Bosh is. Bosh needs to be a 3 with 2 dogs on his team, and they are going to have the best ERA and all the crap you talk about, Solana, defensive efficiency
ERA.
that they want.
Run average.
Yeah.
Bam probably good at baseball, but that's what he has to be, and I would love to see him go somewhere else to do that because I don't see them bringing in 2 dogs for him to play with.
And that's fair, but you would also agree Damian Lillard didn't have the success in terms of where he got with the Portland Trailblazers as the Miami Heat did. Bam Adebayo is a part of 2 Eastern Conference championship teams and another Eastern Conference finals as a member of the Heat. It's not like Damian Lillard who went to 1 Eastern Conference finals and they got mopped in it and they never actually put a solid team around.
You're saying that
Solana,
Bam should be happier with his team because he almost got there twice and Dame almost got there once?
When I talk to my grandson, my oldest son's 14, when Hoch's son, when DJ has a son, you're going to say, hey, you have to watch this Bam. He went to 2 Eastern Conference finals. That's not the conversation in sports, Solana.
I'm just providing some context because where you say it's exactly like Damian Lillard and you say it's exactly like Chris Bosh, it's not exactly the same because Bam Adebayo has been on title contending teams. He had a stretch of 4 years where they were contending for a title every single year.
I understand that, but if you want to, I mean, like theoretically, it's the same thing. Both guys had given their entire careers to one organization. The organization wasn't able to deliver them a ring because they didn't have the surrounding pieces that they needed. And if you want to do like real granular context like that, I could say to you, Dame did more for the Blazers over his career than Bam has done for the Heat because Dame is the guy we talk about. So it evens out in the wash there.
Well, I don't think so because I think that's my whole point. Damian Lillard was a superstar. We're talking about at one point a top 6-7 player in the NBA, and he delivered all pro season after all pro season after all pro season, and they failed. The way that they built their roster in Portland around him was pathetic, and they refused at a turning point to say, hey, this is still your organization. This is still your franchise because they wanted to tank and get younger players to replace him. And that's when he decided, okay, I'm out of here. Bam Adebayo was on contending team after contending team here alongside Jimmy Butler for 3 to 4 years. And in 3 out of the 5 years, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's not pretend like Bam's been a first-round exit for 10 years of his career. It's just not true.
But to that point, Solana, Damian Lillard is better at basketball than Bam Adebayo, right?
No disagreement.
Why would you criticize Bam for wanting more for his career?
I'm not criticizing. I just don't want to see Bam Adebayo go somewhere else. I get it.
No one does. If you gave me the choice, Giannis comes here and joins Bam, or Bam goes to Boston and joins Jaylen Brown. Like, I'm going to choose Giannis to come here. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't begrudge him. All I'm saying is I wouldn't begrudge him if he asked to go somewhere else at the end of the season, especially if they're a first-round exit.
When you get handed the torch from Udonis Haslem,
all right, anything else in the headlines?
Anything else in the headlines?
That's got to mean something. That's got to mean something. And you don't just hand it to somebody else. Who's it going to hand it to? Myron Gardner?
Oh, Dwayne Wade handed it to Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler handed his dong to the entire Heat fan base.
Mm-hmm. And look what happened.
Hemi stood in the corner for 4 games. I watched it.
And look what happened. Tonight, Canes versus UF, as Hoch mentioned. Panthers really did have an awesome celebration yesterday and an awesome ass-kicking as well. There's a bunch of other NFL notes, and Leo Messi got tackled by a fan yesterday. What the hell's going on over there in Puerto Rico? I do not know. Your weather in South Florida, it's 82 degrees. It's been warm and sunny all day.
I'm going to Puerto Rico in 3 weeks.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, don't tackle Messi.
You think I'll get tackled?
Don't tackle Messi.
They hit this left knee as curtains.
Clay Ferrero is going to join us next. Championship Meet Energy is nonstop at Gulfstream Park with live racing every Thursday through Sunday with featured stakes races on Saturdays. Tomorrow, the Coolmore Fountain of Youth, a key prep race on the road to the Kentucky Derby. The Fountain of Youth features a 14-race card tomorrow and 9 stakes races. Limited tickets still available right now. Tomorrow is also the next Taste at the Track, bourbon and barbecue. Secure your tickets right now and enjoy it tomorrow. Cirque du Soleil, Lucia, is currently playing at Gulfstream Park right now. Runs through April 25th. You can get your tickets at GulfstreamPark.com. And tickets to the 75th running of the Curlin Florida Derby are on sale and moving fast. Secure your spot today for South Florida's biggest race day of the year, which is Saturday, March 28th. Saturday, March 28th, also starting at 6 p.m., Gulfstream Casino will be giving away a new Ford Maverick and a share of $20,000 in free play. Earn entries for the new Ford truck all March, including 5 times entries on Mondays. Get all the info at GulfstreamPark.com.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
Khalil?
All right, we'll talk with Clay here. Clay Ferrero on a Friday. He's on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Clay Ferrero, sports anchor and reporter at Local 10 here in Miami. We were having a conversation at the beginning of the show, Clay. I think there's some frustration building within the Heat, but specifically Bam Adebayo, who had said last night, I'm sick of this bleep being in the play-in every year. We're not a play-in team. And so I asked Crowder and Solana, do you think there's the potential that Bam, after this season, says, you know what, enough is enough? Like, I'd like to be shipped elsewhere.
I don't think it would come from him. I think the frustration is that he wants to lead this group. He is the captain of this group, and I think he understands that there's a responsibility that goes along with that. I don't think he wants to eschew that responsibility and just go elsewhere. I think he wants to fix it with this group, and I think that's why he speaks about effort. I think that it's extremely frustrating when he looks around and he's clearly seeing something that's bothering him. But I don't think it would come from him saying I want out. I think it would be more of a if the Heat decided that there's no way to get there with this build with Bam, and maybe they decide to see what they could get and start over. But I just have a hard time seeing either one of those happening.
But Clay, isn't Bam like a Draymond Green, a Chris Bosh in Toronto? Like, isn't Bam that type? Like, he needs some stars around him, and they've tried. The Damian Lillard thing, and the owner, whatever, didn't want to do it. But if Bam wants to get a title, he might have to go be a 3 somewhere with 2 other stars around him.
Yes, I agree with that. My gut, though, says that for him, it's more of a, I want to do it here, and I want to figure it out here, whatever that looks like, as opposed to I want to go somewhere else and be a 2 or a 3. I think for him, there's enough of a feeling that, I may be a 2 or a 3 in somebody else's eyes, but here with how the Heat view me, and frankly with what he's shown on Team USA when he's had an opportunity there, he can fill in the gaps on a championship caliber team. And I think in his mind, he would probably look at it as, yeah, you might see me as a 2 or 3 because of my offensive game or whatever that might be. But man, I see myself as a 1 because of what I can do on the defensive side of the floor in addition to all of that. So I don't know that he really views it like that. And again, this is without speaking directly to him about this, but I just think it's more he wants to get it done here, and he's getting frustrated by the whole play-in thing, like all the fans are.
Clay, if Bam was under truth serum, do you think the idea that he's had to really adjust his game this season and be more of a playmaker, and on the flip side, everybody seems to be, and when I say everybody, the fan base at large on social media, so maybe it's not truly indicative of everybody, but it does feel like there's mounting pressure to make it work with Bam and Khalil Ware. And I wonder, if he was on truth serum, would that be probably top of the frustration level, not just being a playing tournament team, but the fact that nobody's had to sacrifice more in terms of style of play than Bam Adebayo, and now it seems like they want him to be a different player alongside another big that probably isn't 100% ready to be in that role yet.
Yeah, and this is where it's really hard for me, because when you say truth serum, like you almost want to put words in someone's mouth, and I just don't know. I can tell you like what I do see from the fan base's perspective, and somebody said this the other night, and it kind of clicked with me a little bit. Look at how well Jared Allen is playing with James Harden there, kind of, being able to find him on lobs and kind of looking for him and stuff like that. I just think there's such a world where Bam's offensive game could look so much different if that were a part of it, and specifically more than numbers. So, the whole true serum thing, it's a little hard, but I'm sure that all of that is part of it. I'm sure that, he knows that he is being asked to fill in the gaps where there are gaps, and it may not necessarily fit the best parts of his game. And, that's part of being the captain. But unfortunately for him, he's also the captain, and he's the face of a team right now that is playing. And I'm sure he's tired of that. And, I'm sure there's a human nature to all of us, pretty much all of us, that as much as we say we don't care what other people think of us, most of us care what other people think of us to a certain extent. And so I'm sure that there's a feeling that, man, Like y'all don't know what I'm having to do right here. Y'all don't understand. And, you know, whatever that happens to be, whether it's the playmaking part of it or having to fit with Ware while Ware goes through growing pains, whatever that is, when you're the captain of an organization that has made it clear year after year that it's championship or bust, then yeah, you do start to feel a little bit of that. And I'm sure he'd love to kind of sit down with people and explain, no, this is what I'm doing right here. I just can't say specifically what that is.
Yeah, Clay, I don't want to put my wife on True Serum because all I was going to do is hurt my feelings. But
Oh, man.
I want to put you on True Serum. But to that point, Clay, honestly, like what's Khalil Ware's deficiencies? Why can't he be, I don't want to say Wimby, but you're a 7-footer that's rangy. Like, what does he not do that, you know, Spo has to sit him down and all that?
I wish I knew, and that's the Truth Serum specifically coming out. Like I wish I knew because you know somebody posted this and I had to verify it, but it's true. The Heat are 1-9 when Khalil Ware plays fewer than 15 minutes in a game. 1-9, and look, Spo's forgotten more about basketball than any one of us will ever know, and all of us combined. And yet, man, when you look at something that's that clear cut, like, it has to be something really, really rough that it's leading to him being, you know, sitting down. Last night was a little bit strange because Spo said after the game that, you know, he loved what he saw out of both centers for 48 minutes. Well, then why did Khalil Ware only play 12 or whatever it was? You know, they were 1-8 before last night's game when Ware played fewer than 15 minutes. He only played, you know, that much last night, and it drops it to 1-9. So I don't know what it is. I wish I knew, and part of me kind of wishes that you know, as a coach, you could be a little bit more transparent about that sort of stuff, because it's really hard to understand when you see something that feels that clear cut.
Yeah, I wonder, you know, when you look at that, you go, okay, if Khalil Ware was getting more minutes, would they have more wins? If he had gotten more minutes consistently, would that have improved his game enough where they'd be getting more wins now? But when you look at the team as a whole, is there anything that Spo can do, or Bam as the team leader can do, where they could have a dramatically different record or be a top 6 seed instead of a play-in team? Or you can't expect that of a team that really is a play-in roster. This is who they are, and we can try all these different machinations, but you can't hide the fact of what you actually are.
Yeah, and it's hard because I do think my gut reaction is, yeah, there's not a whole lot more you can do. And yet, man, when you see something like that with the Ware numbers and what they are when he plays more, and when you also look at games like last night where you're right there and the late game offense specifically just doesn't look right. Like, there's just something late in games, and you know, they just seem to have these lapses, and I don't know if that's purely a talent thing. Is there something more that they could be doing? I don't know. I'm not smart enough for all that stuff. I wish I were. But I do think that there are enough times when you see this team and you're like, man, there's a chance for this team to do something to where maybe there would be. But I don't know, man. I wish I had a hot take on this to give you. I just feel like when I'm watching late-in games, that's where things are sorely lacking, especially. And you have those got-to-have-it moments. And, you know, is that personnel-based? Is that scheme-based? I don't know. But to me right now, I'll bet if you go back and you look at some of these quote-unquote clutch games and what the Heat's record could be if they were able to find ways to execute a little bit better offensively down the stretch, and you'd probably be looking a lot more like a top 6 team than a play-in team.
At this point, Clay, I'd be happy to have you draw up some plays. I know you're scheming up 2-3 zones and stuff as a coach. So I mean, maybe there's something there. But when it comes to the clutch thing, what have I told you, Clay? I think it's not as simple, but a large part of it is the fact that your 3 best players have played or finished games 9 times through the first 60 games of the season, and you can't build chemistry. You can't build organic chemistry late in games when that's the case. Yesterday, again, Norm starts the game. He leaves. He'll likely miss tomorrow's game. And Tyler hasn't built up the amount of reps this season because he's played 14 games.
Well, and I think that's fair, but that's a rational take, and we don't want that here.
We don't have this medium if we have rational takes.
Exactly, and especially Solana. What's up with Solana bringing the rational take? That's not his role here. Come on. No, I look. I do think there's some truth to that, and yet I don't know enough about the rest of the teams in the NBA to say, oh, the Heat's late game stuff and who they've had is that drastically different than others. It might be, and it might be that similar. I just think the problem is that when you look back over the last couple of years, it feels like we're talking about some of the same issues over and over again. And I also kind of feel like, when this team has been good, like, as good as they want to be, like NBA Finals type good, they have had at least one, if not two, elite players that they can go to late in games. And, Jimmy Butler, the two times they made the NBA Finals, man, you could make the case that nobody on the planet was playing better basketball in the NBA playoffs than Jimmy Butler was, and the way that he was able to elevate the entire roster. Then you go back and you had LeBron and D Wade, then D Wade and Shaq before that. So, I don't know if it's as simple as they need an elite player and they don't have one, an elite offensive player and they don't have one, whatever it might be. But it certainly feels like we've been having very similar discussions for the last couple of years now.
And Clay, with Tyler, because that was our whole thing, was the full roster. Play with the full roster. Solana just brought it up. When you have your full roster, Tyler went 24, 14, 14, and then 25 last game. Can he be the bump? Is he the bump that we need? And is he playing at a high level where we can figure out what him and Norm can do together? Like, what do you like? What do you like about the backcourt, and what can the backcourt not do? Because I see defensively, I don't know if Norm, and we talked about it, I don't know if Norm and Tyler can play together with their defensive deficiencies.
Well, I'm with you on that, and I think that's where you're get back to the original question about can you? Is there something that this roster can do between now and the end of the season? And because there's always going to be a give and a take. If you end up going with the defensive players, then you don't have the same sort of offensive punch. And I think that could certainly be an issue. Now, the one thing about Tyler I would say is that I feel like his importance is magnified late in games. And I kind of love what they were trying to do for a minute there, where they were staggering the minutes with him and Norm Powell. And then, late in the fourth quarter, you can kind of figure out when you go offense, defense. Yeah, we want both these guys on the floor. Then you can switch in the last minute when, everybody's calling a timeout, all that stuff. I think having those tools at his disposal at least allows Spo to show, like, what the ceiling might be for this team. And yet, to get back to Hoch's question from a second ago, I still don't know what that ceiling would be.
Clay, what is a better chance of happening? The Panthers make the playoffs, and I think there's 24 games left. They'd have to win like 18 or 19 of them. They looked good last night. Panthers make the playoffs, or the Heat avoid the play-in and are a top 6 seed?
Probably Panthers.
Really?
Probably Panthers. I think both would be very challenging, but I just think when you look at
because I went around the room yesterday and asked, like, one of these happened, both of them happened, neither of them happened. You'd be in the camp of neither of them happen.
I'd be in the camp of neither of them happening. And if you're gonna give me, force me to take one of the two, I'm gonna take the one with the team that is going to show up and every single night feel like, yeah, we're winning this game. Because I just feel like the Panthers, there's not a single game right now, even without Barkov, that they're going to go into for the rest of this season, assuming they don't have another rash of injuries, and they won't feel like, no, we're winning this game tonight. And I don't know that you can say that, again, not to use the truth serum thing, but I just feel like there's that core belief within the Panthers, and there's kind of a feeling with them right now that they've flipped the switch.
Let me give you one other quick one. I'll go to the Dolphins here. Who would you rather have as your starting quarterback next season for the Dolphins, Quinn Ewers or Anthony Richardson?
Oh, man. You're asking good ones today.
Well, when you get to Friday, I'm able to look back at all my notes from things that have been asked during the week, and I can just kind of I can repackage everything into kind of like a greatest hit segment.
I err on the side of give the player with the highest ceiling the shot when you're talking about a season where you really have nothing to lose. And so that, for me, that would be Anthony Richardson, because I would like to see a change of scenery, somebody who clearly needs a fresh start. And, but coming out of that draft, a lot of people felt like, man, he's got the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft, but the lowest floor. I would rather take a chance on that and just see what it looks like. Now, that's without being in the building and seeing what Quinn Ewers has been able to show behind the scenes. But I would just, in a season like this where things are going to be rough anyway, let's see what he's got. Let's see what Anthony Richardson has, and if you feel like there's something you can build on. And because I would rather go 2-15, 3-14 in a really good quarterback year than go 6-11 and risk losing out on my number one choice of quarterback. I feel like you take the chance with Richardson and you either hit gold or you're looking at the top end quarterbacks in the draft.
And Clay, to that point, it's something we talked about on the show where what's the goal? Is the goal to win as many games as we can? Because like the Malik Willis thing, I'm not a fan of it. And they're saying he's going to get $30 million a year. So 2 for $60 is crazy to me for him. But like, what's the goal? Is it that training period or that toss up of a quarterback? Like, and we were talking about True Sim earlier. What's the goal of the Dolphins? What are we trying to do at quarterback with the Dolphins?
This is going to be extremely hard, I think, for people to understand. But I think that they're going to look at this as take every rep that you can and grade every rep with every player and start to build the foundation of something. And we're not going to look at wins and losses. And it's not going to be that simple because it's a wins and losses business. And so, but I really think that you've got this runway now where I think everybody knows that you're ripping off the Band-Aid with the salary stuff. And there's no reason to believe that this team is going to have enough top-end talent to be able to compete for a playoff spot. If they find a way to pull a rabbit out of the hat, then it's going to be a huge shock. But I think that they've got a little bit of a grace period right now. So to me, it's, you got to spend this season. What is your foundation going to look like? What is your culture going to look like? What do you want that room to look like, that locker room? And, how do you want these guys to compete? Figure out who's going to be a part of your long-term plans. And, that's where I would say Richardson, if you get him in the building and man, there's a maturity level there that's improved and you feel like there's a physical talent there and then great, man. Like you may have the guy that you can build around, but I just feel like it's going to be holistic, that you've got to build a culture. You've got to build a foundation. And this season is as good as any for that because you really don't have to worry quite as much about the wins and the losses.
Way too sportsy today, Clay, and that's on me. I apologize.
No. What are we doing here? I feel like I'm on...
Yeah,
I'm not even going to say. I'm not going to bring any other shows into this.
I feel like you're on the Joe Rose show.
No,
yeah,
I
don't know what happened. I should have been asking questions about McDonald's coming out with the big arch and Burger King changing the Whopper. It's on me. I screwed up, Clay. I'm sorry.
You know what? I always thought that Joe didn't ask me on his show because it was too early in the morning. Now I know it's because they want to talk sports. And
right. Well, this was like an audition for Joe's show. You passed.
I don't expect any phone calls after that.
Feel free if you want on Sunday Night Face-Off to use my Anthony Richardson or Quinn Ewers question. You seem to enjoy that one.
Done.
All right.
Done.
Fair enough.
We'll
See you, Clay.
All right, brother. Take care, guys.
Clay Ferrero from Local 10. We'll take a break, come back with more.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Hey, man, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm the hottest chick in the game right now, man.
Lucky 13.
We back at it with the steady, Hotman, Crowder, and Solana. 305, cafecito time, dame una colada. Got some interviews next, always got dope guests. Get the cesspool live, dropping comments and likes. We about to get right, talking sports, my G. Listen to Odyssey and 104.3. Live and back on GeorgiaMusic.com. Hitting it at the park like a Matt Mervis bomb off power. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready for the 3 o'clock hour.
I'm ready.
Get ready for that 3 o'clock.
I am ready.
For that 3 o'clock.
I will correct
Are you ready for
the errors of last segment,
Are you ready for
which was way too sportsy, by getting into something a little less sportsy. Marklight Shakes have announced what the shake will be for this weekend against the Florida Gators.
We got action, Jack.
The opponent shake is chocolate, hot fudge, swamp sauce, and gator nuggets.
Mm.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what swamp sauce is. Is that an actual sauce that they have at like Zaxby's or something?
It's winter sauce.
No, because it would be called winter sauce. There's nothing winning about a swamp.
A swamp is natural. It figures
Swamp
it
is
out.
generally followed by ass.
No,
100%.
I would have to say you don't say swamp ass. You say swamp fishing, swamp hunting.
I can't imagine Marklight Shakes is going to sell many chocolate, hot fudge, swamp sauce, and gator nugget shakes.
They're really not going to sell it after what we do to y'all.
I'd try it.
You would?
Yeah, I would imagine swamp sauce Crowder would be like Cajun barbecue sauce. I would
It
just
has to
imagine.
have something. Yeah,
Cajun.
no, it has to have something spicy to it. Yeah.
Right? I love Cajun seasoning, and gator nuggets happen to be delicious.
No,
I've had them before.
they don't. They are not. They're not delicious.
They
They're
are
chewy.
hard. No, they're not.
This is my point with sweet potato fries. So you would never order if I said to you, "There's chicken nuggets available.
I love chicken.
There's mac and cheese nuggets. You know, that
I
breaded
love mac and cheese.
And there's gator nuggets. There's not a soul on earth who isn't going to have the gator nuggets third. Everyone wants to say that they've eaten gator and, oh, I love gator nuggets. There is, unless the menu only had gator nuggets on it.
I would push back. It's like calamari. Wouldn't you want beef or chicken over calamari?
No, calamari is delicious.
Gator is the same exact thing. Calamari's chewy. Are you kidding me?
Stop it. Not those tentacles. The tentacles are nice and crispy.
You like the heads?
Oh,
No, I like the tentacles.
That's the head.
the heads, bro.
What?
That's the head of the squid. It's the head that has the
Literally.
No,
tentacle.
but the little tentacle, the crispy pieces that are coming off it, aren't those the
That's
legs?
No, that's the head.
The leg of the squid. The leg of the squid.
Yeah, I thought it was. These are like mini squids, and those are the 8 tentacles.
That's the head. You're eating the head. You're
The
licking
tentacles
the
are the head.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk of a squid.
Are you
It
sure?
has no legs
Well, they have tentacles,
off their face.
right? But that's not the face. It's tentacles off the face.
That's the head.
No, I like the tentacles.
Jesus Christ.
Canes tonight, by the way, are minus 125 favorites against the Gators. Oh, no, Gators are favored. Minus 105.
Yeah,
No, Canes are favored. No, Canes are favored.
I'm bad.
Canes are minus 125. Gators are minus 105. Canes are ranked number 17 in the nation. Florida is ranked number 10 in the nation.
We're a 105 underdog.
Yes.
You know what's about to happen.
Yeah,
I'm
the
ready to
Canes are
put my
gonna
money
win.
on it. You want to wager?
I'll take the bet. Don't type nothing into that app. I'll take the bet right now.
I'll take whatever bet you want to make.
Whatever you want to do,
I'll
Hawk.
bet your tentacles.
Well, I don't want no tentacles because you thought squid had legs. I'll take
Squid
the money
have
from you.
tentacles, don't they?
Off their face,
It doesn't matter where they're off of. They're still tentacles, no?
and that's the head because there's the circle, there's the little rings,
Hold on, let
and
me
then
ask
there's
Claude.
the head. Ask Claude about what parts of the
Hoch, how's it going?
squid.
Good. Do squid have tentacles?
Yep, squid have 10 arms with suction cups on them.
Boom.
People often call them tentacles, but technically squid have arms, while some other cephalopods like cuttlefish have a couple of longer tentacles too. Either way, those suckers are pretty wild for grabbing stuff.
So when I order fried calamari, am I eating tentacles or the squid head?
Great question. You're eating the squid's arms, not the head. Calamari is basically the body and arms of the squid
Boom.
sliced into rings and
Boom,
fried.
my
So
butt,
eating
Claude.
those arms with all those suction cups
Boom.
chopped up and
No,
cooked.
you're wrong, Hawk. And Claude is
Claude,
wrong.
I love you.
Claude's full of crap is what he is.
Oh, that's really sweet of you to say. I appreciate that. Is there anything else I can help you with
Tell
today?
Claude I hate him.
Channing Crowder says he hates you.
Well, I can't take that personally. Everyone's got their own opinions, and that's totally fair. Is there anything I can actually help you with right now?
You're hot.
No, I'm good.
I just put up a screenshot of a calamari, a squid. The part you're eating that you say is crispy with the little tentacles is the part connected to the head. And on top of the head, it's its body. And that's the part that's circular because they cut it into pieces diagonally.
Asked Claude.
But look
Claude
at the
knows more
picture.
about everything on the planet than you
Look
do.
at the picture. Look at the picture.
Claude
Look
knows
at the picture, Hawk.
everything. He's
You like
literally
the legs.
advanced intelligence. And he said, you are not eating the head, you are eating the arms, which is what I said.
It's not arms. Look
Claude
at the
just told you it was
Hawk, it's
arms.
still arms.
He
What
literally
arms?
just told you they're arms. Did you not hear Claude?
Arms sticking out of your mouth. Arm mouth. Mouth arms.
I mean, look at Squid 101.
Hey, Ho, what's up? What can I help you with?
I just want to recheck with you. Did you say squid have tentacles or arms?
Ah, good question. Squid actually have arms, not tentacles. They have 8 arms lined with suckers. Now, squid also have 2 longer feeding tentacles that they use to grab prey, but those are separate from their main arms. So technically they've got both, but the 8 main limbs are called arms.
And just
His
to
arms
reiterate,
out of his face. Their
when I
arms, their
order
face
fried
arms.
calamari, am I eating the squid's head or the arms?
Good catch with the follow-up. Fried calamari is actually the arms and tentacles. It's the squid's body parts, not the head. The rings you see are sliced cross-sections of the arms. The head area is usually discarded or used for other purposes. So when you're
Man,
eating
Claude full of
calamari,
crap.
you're getting
You all have just been fed Claude
Man, Claude
dong.
doesn't know. I
Everything
don't
you
wanna eat-
thought
I
you
don't
knew,
If
I
Claude's
and
dong is
Claude
fried,
just
I'll have it.
disproved. I just disproved with the help of advanced intelligence that you are not eating squid head. You're eating a cross section of the arms. Thank God Claude is part of this show.
There's no way that you cut the tentacles off without the head.
He just told you. He
Why don't know
just
what the hell he's
told
talking
you.
about?
This is advanced intelligence.
We've caught Claude being wrong 7 times already.
And you've been wrong 70 times.
No,
Claude's
I'm
right
never
way
wrong.
more than you're right.
I'm never wrong. Deep fried steak is beef Wellington.
Headlines are brought to you by Durrell Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Durrell Kia or DurrellKia.com. Look at that. All those years you thought you were eating squid head. You never were. Never.
No.
Never.
I eat the ink sac.
You love the sex.
It's delicious.
Leroy Horde, who's not advanced intelligence, says you are so wrong. The rings are the legs, and the crispy part is from the face.
The face, the squid face. Do y'all understand, Leroy? And you,
I'm the only one who understands.
Huck, do you understand? It's not a human person. It's a squid. There's no face.
Mike Mayo, who you would agree knows more about food than anyone we know. He was the Sun Sentinel
Mayo,
food
watch
critic.
out for me, Mayo.
He's got the
I
Let's
trust.
Eat South Florida
I
Facebook
trust
page.
Mayo.
He's got the radio show
Yes.
where they talk about food.
And his last name is Mayo.
I trust Mayo.
He says calamari tentacles are the edible, sucker-covered arms located around the head of a squid, often served deep-fried alongside
Where's it at?
instead of the body rings.
What did you say real fast?
I don't know. He sent me a Google
No,
Google search.
you
It's not
said
even his opinion.
located around the head of the squid. It's the head of the squid.
No,
Just
it's
look
the
at the
arm.
picture of the squid that I have
Look
up in
at
front
Will you
of
stop showing me the cartoon squid?
It's not a cartoon. It's the physiological assessment of a squid.
The physiological what?
Assessment.
Can we be serious here for a second?
I thought
can
we
you guys-
were.
Can you guys stop with the tomfoolery? Can we be and have a serious conversation here for a second? How do we feel about Burger King making changes to their Whopper?
So it's actually interesting. I haven't had a Whopper in 1,000 years. I don't go to Burger King, but if I do, it's the long plank chicken sandwich. That would be the only thing that I would get. I would never get their Whopper. This Whopper sounds interesting. What are some of the changes? I see the bun is going to be fluffier.
Correct.
They're
So
not
I-
going to wrap it in that paper anymore. You know that
Exactly.
BK paper?
They're putting in
The-
the box.
The Whopper's coming in a box.
Yeah. I think there's going to be paper, but it'll only cover about half of it just to keep it together. It's not going to be fully wrapped in like that heavy parchment paper that BK was known for. And I think what they're doing here is they're changing the boxing and then trying to pretend like they're making changes elsewhere because they say a better tasting bun, new creamier mayonnaise,
Oh.
and a clamshell box instead of paper. What was happening was they're wrapping these Whoppers, they're putting them in a bag, they're giving them to you, and by the time you open up the Whopper, the bun and the patties have been almost squished down together, so
Right.
it looked like it had this flat aesthetic. And by changing it to a box, the bun and now because
Should
of that, the patty
remain
will remain fluffy.
right.
How long do you leave your Whopper or Big Mac or anything? How long do you leave it in the box or wrapping? I'm going to fast food to get fast food.
Right.
I'm going
but
to eat
Crowder-
it as soon as I pull away.
Crowder, like the other day, I picked up some chicken nuggets for my nephew. And I literally went to the drive-thru. I said, I'm going to have a 10-piece and a Frosty. And by the time I'm done paying, they already have the chicken nuggets in a bag for me. It took 17 seconds. They're made already. These Whoppers, so many people ordering them.
That's what I
They're
think.
just-
I think
they're
they're
just made
made.
already.
They're sitting there under the heat lamp and they're
Yep.
just soaking up all the heat and they're getting flatter and flatter.
Yeah.
No, they don't put them in the bun until you order them.
Oh,
Nah, I'm not
that's
so
what they tell
certain.
you. That's what they tell you. It's what they want you to think.
It's pre-made. They're already there.
I think it's a gray area.
Of what's the gray?
Eh,
Oh, you knocked yourself off, Hoch. Hoch. You knocked yourself off, Hoch.
Yeah, ask Claude how the hell you can still talk.
he's been knocking himself off the air at his home studio, and while he's in the studio, he turns off his mic now, like randomly throughout the segment. It's bizarre what's going on here.
Yeah. People get old, Solana.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I told the story. My Randy's mother, Grandma Violet, she was my favorite grandma, pretty much my only grandma. And she made, when she got old and she got a little, different, her mind started, going downhill. She made spaghetti one time with fish bones. And I was eating spaghetti and there were fish bones in it. And I was a kid, I was 9 years old, and I was like, hey, grandma, this spaghetti has fish bones. And everybody had to kind of tell me, they were behind her waving their hands like, yeah, grandma's losing it. So that's how I learned
But
that.
she put them in intentionally?
No, she put the fish in the spaghetti sauce because she started losing it. We're just talking about you. Like, once you get older, you kind of like the mental side of it leaves.
Well, I just have I have a bad tentacle coming off my microphone. The tentacle, I have a bad wire. It's a tentacle.
Right.
And if I hit it, I got to reopen the browser.
Yeah. You got a little tentacle too.
Well, that goes without saying.
What do you think it means to have a more premium mayonnaise? What do you think that entails? Like, what are they putting in this mayonnaise to make it a more premium mayonnaise?
Why do you say it's so many syllables? You do a lot of things with too many syllables. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mayonnaise.
No, mayonnaise. 2 syllables.
Probably
mayonnaise.
A creamier, fattier mayo.
More flavorful, but fat means flavor. Okay. Mayonnaise.
All right. I wasn't sure if they were.
What do you like? Do you like Dukes? You like Hellman's? You like Miracle Whip?
I don't eat mayonnaise, so
what?
I don't know. I like mayo, but it's too fatty for me. So unless I'm out somewhere and the sandwich just comes with mayonnaise, then I'll have it. But I would never have mayonnaise at home. I would never put mayonnaise on something at home.
You have no mayonnaise in your refrigerator?
None. No.
Miracle Whip.
Arteries, bro. That's why, I'm going to live longer than you. You're just you're dousing things of mayonnaise.
Sick. Solana, I'm going to outlive you by 100 years.
You got a lot of grays. You took off your hat the other day. You saw that, Hawk? You saw all the grays up on Carter's head?
Oh, I didn't see that, no.
Yeah. Salt and peppers everywhere, man.
Yeah, right on the edges.
Oh, I like it. Very erudite.
Yeah, that makes me special.
So the Miami Dolphins were ranked first again in the 2026 NFLPA annual report cards. That's a third straight season that the Dolphins are ranked pretty much first overall in these report cards. They can't win on the field, but they're winning on all the off the field amenities by far.
I saw a little clip from Joe Rose this morning on social media where he said the Dolphins do everything right except on the field.
It's what we talk about Stephen Ross. We had this conversation like a month ago. Stephen Ross is an amazing owner. He just doesn't know how to figure out people to win football games. What he did, moving it from Davie to Miami Gardens, right next to the stadium, bringing in stuff, just the excitement of Miami and Hard Rock Stadium is immaculate. He just needs to find a damn quarterback and a head coach and a GM that knows how to win football games. Hopefully it's Sully and Halfley. He might have figured it out now. I'm praying it's Sully and Halfley.
You guys see the Jets head coach, Aaron Glenn, fall asleep. It looked like he fell asleep at the combine yesterday. Yeah, so he's at the combine, and they show him on NFL Network. They put him up on the big screen, and it's very possible, and it's probable that he was just kind of looking down at his phone, checked out, scrolling on Instagram or whatever, or on Twitter. But he looks like he's falling asleep. And then the second he noticed that he was up on TV, he kind of looked up, realized he was on TV, and then got up and pretended to be looking at the field again. But it looked like he was dozed off 100%.
You know how long that day is?
I was going to say, combine? Who wouldn't fall asleep at the combine?
It's 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. It's 12-hour days talking to the 19th best safety out of BYU. It's boring. The combine is really boring as hell. I was there for 2 days. It's boring as hell. AG, get your nap in, big homie.
you're the Jets coach. The one thing you can't do is fall asleep at the combine, bro. Like, you don't necessarily have any ground to stand on after the season you've had. Your franchise's history. You're the laughing stock of the NFL. You can't go out to the combine of all places.
You're
and
also
fall asleep,
you're
Crowder.
also discussing the Dolphins with that description.
Yeah, good point.
I went to sleep pumping gas a couple days ago. Took a 3-minute nap.
The scenes yesterday of the fans storming the pitch, knocking Leo Messi to the ground, are genuinely absurd.
Yeah, it's absurd.
The fact that both teams are wearing black happens to be hilarious. Like, how
That's
does
absurd
that
as well. Like, what a disaster.
How does that happen in 2026 where you have the biggest global superstar, the greatest player maybe ever in the history of sports coming to your town? They have to reschedule this game. It's so important for the fans to be there. They have a security breach. Messi gets toppled to the ground by the fans, and you couldn't tell which team was which team because they're both wearing the same color.
Human communication. Y'all get on me when I talk about the NBA and NHL and everybody, messing up playoff runs. I want humans to talk to humans, and y'all always give me hell about it. Silver, holla at Zito and see what he want to do.
But in this case, guys, like I was thinking about it yesterday, can't they just do like a shirts versus skins situation? Or when both teams come out to the pitch and they realize, we're both in the same color.
Just go to the concession stand. They're selling pink Inter Miami jerseys there, so everyone's wearing number 10. So what? Just put on the pink jerseys.
Just bizarre to me. Like we can go shirts versus skins at the park, but they can't do it for an exhibition game. I mean,
You want to hear something funny about getting old and losing your mind? So did I tell you a few days ago that I had won Cash Pop finally after going 0 for 6,000? So I won $50 Cash Pop. I walked down. My nephew's in town. We had a smoothie this morning. We walked over to Sultan's. I was cashing in my $50 Cash Pop. And the thing prints out, not a winner. I must have thrown away the winning one and kept one of the losing ones.
You always talking about CTE with me. I don't know if you got hit in the head as much as me, Hawk, but you're losing it.
That's just age. That's like, I'm like, how's that? I'm like, I'm sure this was a winner, but I had like a stack of 4 Cash Pop tickets. I must have thrown out the winner and just kept one of the losers.
Oh, you can't be happy with yourself after that, man. You've got to be kicking yourself.
Wasn't one of my shining great moments that I'll remember.
Could you imagine if one of us did that, Crowder? I mean, Hoch would be all over us, bro.
Oh my God. Like if I wrecked my car the other day in the parking garage here. Just took the corner too hard, ran into a post, $4,000, wrecked the entire passenger side door.
What?
Lori's
You ran into a cement post sitting still.
Cement post. So the parking garage here has speed bumps in the middle. There's a little bit of room on either side of the speed bump.
Don't tell me you're the guy. Oh,
I traverse the garage all the time, and I don't wait for speed bumps. So I zip, but there's literally an inch between your car and the post. But it's like, I don't have a case on my phone. I say, don't drop your phone. Like, you don't need anything. So I tell myself, don't drive into the post. And I've done it for over a year. I didn't do it the other day. Just wrecked the entire door, taking that corner a little too hard.
You drug your truck down a cement post sitting still.
Yep. Well, no. Yeah, the post was sitting still. Yes.
I know the damn post was sitting still because they can't move it to the parking garage.
Lori was like, can you imagine if I did that and you didn't do it? And I was like, yeah. And then I was thinking today, can you imagine if you threw away the winning Cash Pop ticket?
Hoch, let me get this straight. You're go around the speed bump guy in a parking lot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate that guy. I mean,
I hate
with a
speed
passion.
bumps.
You hate,
but
you hate speed bumps.
That's right.
You go around speed bumps.
I go around speed bumps.
So you can go another 2 miles faster?
It's not so I can go faster. I don't trust the shocks.
So it's Cadillac's fault.
It could be anybody's fault. I just don't trust the shocks to take that kind of wear and tear on a daily basis.
I know what it is. I know what it is. When he goes down from being up on the speed bump, Crowder, he feels his man boobs fucking drop. Just boom.
Oh.
Who likes speed bumps? It's like, what are we doing here? It's a garage. Like, who's going more than 5 miles an hour in the garage anyway?
You, when you go around the speed bump.
Go around them.
No, I was going 5 miles an hour. Just happened to clip the entire post all the way through the door.
So I'll put this back to like athletics, like the point of what you're doing. You're going around it to save your shocks or prove a point to the speed bump people.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
God, I hate that guy, man.
So the building is gonna see you go around the speed bump and say, "Hey, maybe we should take these speed bumps out."
Oh, the building saw me crash right into the post because the building president gave me a phone call. Like 20 minutes later, my phone rings and it's the manager of the building, and she's like, "Hey, everything good?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's great." I knew why she was calling. She was just calling to give me bleep. I'm like, "Yeah, everything's great." She's like, "Everything perfect?" And I'm like, "I've never had a better day in my life." She's like, "Oh, interesting. Your car's good?" I go, "Oh, it's driving great." She goes, "Yeah, well, we got about 7 people here in the office laughing at a video would say differently."
What's the purpose of driving around the speed bump?
And then I just lit her up with too many speed bumps. I'm like, this is your fault. There's too many stupid ass speed bumps in this garage.
If they're throwing the ball, you got to go 2 safeties high. If they're, scoring in the paint, you have to put bigs in.
I don't
What's
have to.
the point of
I'll beat him my way.
driving?
I don't get. My game doesn't get dictated by your game. I dictate the game.
So you're driving LeBron. You're
That's
Jordan
right.
of driving.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I dictate the way this game is going to play out, not you.
You set the pace.
I set the pace. You think I'm going to go small because you went small? No. If I feel like playing big, I'm playing big.
You gonna stay big and hit the post.
Yeah, you can't win every game.
You get out, assess the damage right after, or did you just drive to your parking spot?
I drove to my spot. I drove to my spot and then went back to go pick up my tire well.
You knock off the rearview mirror?
No, thankfully I did not.
Oh,
I did
it
not.
was just the back.
It was the back door. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whole door had to be replaced. Not even dented. Whole door has to come off and be replaced.
Because you want to go around the speed bump.
Well, I went around the speed bump. It's not that I want to. I went around the speed bump.
Okay, I got you, big man. There you go, big man. Or Rex.
Luckily, I have a good body shop guy because remember, I did that in the building that we were renting in a couple of years ago. I did the same exact thing against a cement post.
Them cement posts, boy. They give Hoch
funny.
hell.
It's funny though, because Hoch's the guy that's like, "Oh, I won't be a passenger in anybody's car. I drive everywhere. Oh, I'm not getting in the car with anybody."
That is true.
You're running into cement posts every year. Why should we get?
Yeah,
in the
but
car
I'm
with
also
you?
not the guy when you get in my car that's going to ride over 8 or 9 speed bumps and make everybody nauseous by the time we get out of the garage.
Nauseous.
That's right.
Oh, people are going to throw up if you go over a speed bump.
Because they don't affect my speed. I don't slow down for a speed bump.
Okay, so is that the same thing as me getting into, into negative on my bank account because I want to control my bank account?
Nothing like that.
Same exact thing. You're not changing anything that's going to happen in that parking garage by going around the speed bump.
I think I've got the wheels in motion right now to have some of these speed bumps removed.
They're laughing at you. 7 people are laughing at you.
But I don't think that these posts can sustain that kind of damage over a long period of time. They're going to have to remove the speed bumps.
You're playing the long game.
You're going to knock down the parking garage to get the speed bumps taken out.
Playing the long game. Chess, not checkers, building. Chess, not checkers.
Hoch will go through 87 cars and take out as many posts as he needs to win a battle with the HOA. They're getting those speed bumps out of there.
You see what I'm saying, Lydia? You see what I'm saying?
I had to file an insurance claim because I'm not paying for this crap. So I filed an insurance claim with my auto insurance, and they're like, fill out. It's all virtual now, so it's like, how many people were involved in the accident? 1. How many moving were involved in the accident? 1. Was the weather, inclement weather? No. Was there something out of the ordinary in the route? No. So like all these things. No. Anything move out in front of you? No. And so then
I just
at the
ran
end, it's
into
like,
a pole.
It's at the end. It's like, we have determined you were the cause of the accident. I'm like, oh, really? that's the AI.
Bingo.
Claude can't get you out of that one.
That was perfect. I mean, it was my fault. They paid for it. They already gave me the direct deposit.
Huck, you just ran into a cement pole.
Oh, you make it sound a little more direct than what happened.
Were you scrolling IG at the same time?
I was not. I was literally 15 feet from my parking spot.
And you couldn't judge that my door is about to run into the cement pole?
Yeah, I judged it fine. I just decided at this time I'd like to take out the pole and my door. Yeah, there was no error in judgment at all. It was a quick decision on my part. You know what? This time, let's hit the pole.
You about to teach the HOA a lesson with this pole situation. Okay.
The Heat play tomorrow versus
Was it a coincidence that they announced a $30,000 assessment for each unit yesterday?
No. They said this 412 is effing us. We need some. You just took up the HOA payment, Hawk. Personally. How do you feel about that?
Hawk's HOA monthly bill is like $17,000 now.
Hawk, don't get jumped in the hallway. Wear a hat. That damn 616. He ain't
I
worth
don't
a
mind
damn.
fighting this battle on behalf of everyone else in the building. I'll do this battle for everyone.
For speed bumps.
That's right. We all have our cause. Hey, building, what would you rather have? Very slow traffic in the garage or the garage falling in on itself one post at a time? You make the call.
You're going to teach them a lesson. Show out, Hawk.
The Miami Heat, they play tomorrow against the Rockets at 3:30. The Florida Panthers play tonight, 7 p.m. versus the Buffalo Sabres. Los Modelines are losing 8-2 to the Phillies right now. Canes baseball does play tonight. They open up that series against the Florida Gators. First pitch tonight is at 7 p.m.
Just to reiterate, over the last week, I have wrecked my car door at the expense of $5,000 and threw away a $50 winning cash pop ticket and kept a losing one.
Tweet out the link. The GoFundMe link. I got you, brother.
Yeah, all right.
You crashed your truck.
You know, I saw Hawk pull up in the old car he used to drive, which is like
It's Lori's car.
Like a two-door, right? It's like a two-door coupe.
You couldn't even drive your car?
It's at the body shop. I mean, it's got a whole procedure. I haven't
and just ran past the pole and ripped the whole side of the truck off.
The entire side of the truck open.
Well, Crowder, to be fair, it's all coming back to me right now. You deserted your car in the middle of the road like 30 years ago.
Hey, man, that store is a little deeper than not wanting to hit a speed bump. That had a lot to do with strippers and Hennessy.
We all have our crosses to bear.
Jimmy famously pulled over on 95 and pooped himself, waiting for his dad to come rescue him.
Well, he didn't rescue me. The tow truck rescued me.
You
Yeah,
famously
Jimmy, I'd rather
left the
crash.
show.
I'd rather crash my car than doo-doo in it.
You famously left the show to go save your girlfriend at the side of the road, and once you got there, realized you were about as useful as that speed bump.
Got her good cheesesteak, though, at Miami Subs. Great meal.
During our show.
Crashed his truck going around a speed bump. That's crazy.
Your weather, it's in the
That's right.
80s
This chatter
right
knows.
now.
The HOA versus the HOC. That's right.
It's the HNIC. You gonna teach the HOA a lesson.
That's your weather.
You crashed your truck into a pole by
But
yourself.
that's not even the first time, though. I did it a couple years ago, too.
You did.
In the parking garage at the old building I used to live in, avoiding a speed bump.
Do you need LASIK? Like you, what is it called? Depth perception, whatever it is.
I would argue no, that I've done it, thousands of times without hitting the post. So I actually think my numbers are pretty good.
You shoot 950, huh?
If I hit the post every time, I might give some credence to your argument. The fact that I'm able to avoid the speed bump and the post 99% of the time, I think bodes well for me.
Yeah. Jackie Robinson batted 400.
Well, I just doubled or tripled his average.
I would pay so much money for that video, by the way.
Man,
I can get it.
Please, Hawk, please get the video.
Oh, I gotta
That
see this
would be
video.
hilarious.
I can get it. Well, we'll have to see what the offers are.
I got a batch of cookies waiting for you.
All right, Lee Sterling is going to join us next. Before we get to Lee Sterling, I want to tell you about my good friends in the amazing award-winning team at Doral Kia, which is not the car that I wrecked, by the way. Now, my son wrecked his Kia Forte, but it wasn't his fault. But then he went down to Doral Kia, got another Kia because he loved Kia so much. He got a Kia K4. Whenever you want a low price, you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Take advantage of a Pricito now on all your new favorite Kia models like Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, K5, Soul, and more. Do not wait. Hurry to Doral Kia today. Don't miss your chance to save on a new Kia or shop any of their pre-owned vehicles with easy financing, fast service, and the best value for your money because you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
Everything that comes out of my mouth is generally wrong.
During the President's Day
mean, y'all make it sound like you've never run into a cement post before. Everybody's so perfect. All right, Lee Sterling is with us. The website is ParamountSports.com, and you can follow him on Twitter at Paramount Sports. And I see you are wearing your Canes baseball shirt. Lee Sterling is a proud season ticket holder for Canes baseball for a real long time, right? You've had tickets for years, no?
Almost 20 years now. Yeah.
Yeah. So this weekend, I believe, is all sold out, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first real test for the Canes, right? They're 10-0 and they're scoring runs like crazy. I mean, they're ranked 17, but this is a legit test this weekend.
I mean, Lehigh and Lafayette, the guy throwing 82 and 83 miles an hour isn't a test.
Indiana State, Lee. Yeah. The Gators are coming down here this weekend.
Yeah, this is a real test. Usually the trio of Gators starters throw between 96 and 99. So it's a test.
Well, we're going to find out, man. Now, if the Canes can take care of Florida, just take 2 of 3 even, just win the series, then, I mean, even this series aside, this Hurricanes team is good, no?
Yeah, the only question, I think the offense is very good. The only question I have is pitching, starting pitching, against high-level competition. They've been a little above average so far, but you just don't know. I mean, we don't know how great our hitting is. I mean, we're scoring 10 runs or more in almost every single game. So this is a big test, I think, for both teams.
Are you going to have the Mark Light shake? Did you see what it is for this weekend? They just released it.
No, I didn't check. Maybe we can get Jimmy to do something.
No, he already did it. He found out for us. Yeah.
Wow. What do we got?
It is a chocolate shake, chocolate, hot fudge, swamp sauce, and gator nuggets.
Just not feeling it.
Yeah. That one either.
Gator's good meat, though.
No.
Even being a Florida Gator, I love gator meat.
No.
I've never had gator meat, so I can't tell you, but it wouldn't be my first, second, third, or 10th choice.
Me neither. Me neither. How about the Panthers tonight? I'm going to the Panthers game tonight. I know you're going to the Hurricanes game. I'm going to the Panthers game tonight. Panthers, they're playing Solana's Buffalo Sabres. Solana loves the Sabres. Sabres minus 105, Panthers minus 115. So pretty even game. Do you have a bet on this one?
Well, Buffalo has improved, and I actually do. I have a tough time rooting for anyone in the same conference. I actually like Minnesota as a fun team to watch now. I got some couple guys that were in the Olympics that were great. Buffalo's projected starter goalie, Alex Lyon, is stonewalled the Florida offense so far this season. 5 of these 2 teams' top forwards just played in the gold medal game on Sunday. Both teams were victorious in their first game back. But the problem here for Buffalo is they just don't have consistent scoring depth from their bottom 6 forwards. Tage Thompson is an Olympian, scored in New Jersey, and nobody else really did much. Zach Benson went down with an injury before the break. He remains out for tonight's game here. And Florida has struggled in back-to-back games recently. They're 2-3 on the back ends this year of games, and also 3-7 in the last 10 overall. So we're going to see Tarasov here in between the pipes here tonight. But he actually might be the better goalie than Bob this season. He has a save percentage that's 25% points better at home. 91, 913, and then he is on the road at 888 here. I'm going to take the under. I think the play here is under 6 goals. Let's go for let's root for a Florida Panthers 3-2 win.
All right, I'll take that. I would take a 3-2 win tonight. How about UFC tomorrow? We went very long talking about my troubles as a driver in the parking garage. So let's get a UFC pick for tomorrow from Lee Sterling.
So walking trouble didn't do the job for us last week.
That was your guy. Crowder was on that bet. Last week when you were on with us, I bet your Heat bet. You had Heat over the Hawks, and I took that and I cashed that ticket. Crowder took the walking trouble bet. That was a loser.
All right. So I have a bet here that you guys want to get on, and I think I'm going to make a winner both of you if you follow me here. So the favorite here is Damian Pinas, nicknamed the Baby Yaga. I'm not even sure exactly what that means. He's 8-1. He's a striker. He has finished every single opponent, but has not really fought high-level competition. He's facing Wes Party Time Schultz. I mean, there's another one with Crowder's, nickname probably in college.
Walking trouble or party time.
My man.
both covered.
Here he is. So this guy, Wes Schultz, is not a striker at all. He is a grappler. But his only loss in the that he's had in the last 5 fights was to a guy that's in the UFC. This is both the debut for both fighters. Was to a guy that's 3-0 in the UFC. When I have a striker and a grappler, all the grappler needs to do is get a takedown. I do believe if he takes down Pinas here, I think the fight is over. I think he's going to submit him here. So I'm going to take Party Time, Wes Schultz here, plus anywhere from plus 205 to plus 210 to get the job done and get back on track in the UFC.
That's a good underdog right there. I'm looking on the Hard Rock app at plus 210. So Wes Schultz tomorrow night. That's an early fight. That's 5:15.
First fight of the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Wes Schultz plus 210 likes the Panthers Sabres under tonight. Have fun at the Canes game. Let's get some dubs over Florida this weekend.
Did you realize the series record? This comes from John Ruth. The overall series is tied 136, 136, and 1.
Wow. Well, I mean,
And they
139,
won.
136 after this weekend, Crowder.
Yeah,
How do you like
that's
How
it.
you like them apples?
You like them apples.
But what's interesting though is the Gators have won 39 of the last 52. So that run ends tonight. Canes take at least 2 out of 3. If we win the first 2 games, I'm going to try the milkshake on Sunday.
You ever bet college baseball?
So I only do once they get to the
Omaha.
No, not Omaha. You can start playing it in the
Like the
region.
regionals?
There's regionals, semi. I might have seen, like, I know Miami, but until I've seen Florida, it's hard to gauge them. I like seeing teams in person; helps out a lot. So, maybe this is a year where I weighed in a little bit more. God helps me in baseball. If you go to Paramount Sports MLB, Jack Bond puts out some free baseball selections, college baseball every weekend.
Lee, I'm gonna flash my green right now.
Okay.
I don't let you see it, but I do parlays. We were talking about it. NBA teams that are 8 or better favorite, 8-point or better favorites.
He does big money line favorite parlays.
Like 4 or 5 teams, big money line favorites. Like, what should be my number that I shoot for on my parlays?
Okay, I don't have a problem with. I would never go more than 3 teams because all you need is 1 team to mesh up. Think about it. Just on a 2-team parlay, the odds of winning are 4-1. They're only paying you 13-5, not even 3-1. A 4-team parlay, the odds of winning are, I'm talking about with the odds. I'm not talking about money line, but the odds of winning are 8-1. They only pay you 6-1. So I will say this: if you're going to do it late in the season when a lot of teams are tanking, I don't have a problem. As long as you're picking some really strong teams. You're not going to see the San Antonios very often as a money line laying 8 or more. Detroit laying 8 or more, lose the game outright.
There you go, Lee Sterling. Check out the website, ParamountSports.com. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. Let's take a break. 4 o'clock hour is next.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Somebody has dubbed me on the text machine Bad Bet Bunny.
WQ.
Bash my head against a steel pole in the in the garage. My God. All right, let's do the stock market report to start out the 4 o'clock hour here. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Unfortunate way to end the week on Wall Street. Had some red numbers up there. Dow Jones down 1%, 521 points. S&P 500 down 30 points. That's about 0.5%. NASDAQ down almost a full percent, minus 210 points. 15 minutes of heat. That's brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. I had mentioned earlier that Ira Winderman said, here's the question that he got in Ask Ira. If the Heat finish in 6th place, so what? They are still at a middling talent level and shouldn't get excited about having enough. And this is what Ira says, because we were saying, like, what are you shooting for? You want to get out of the play-in, so you want to be 6th in the East. That's really what we're playing for. Ira says, I agree. As has been written before, it would be a bit sad if we're number 6 truly would stand as a Heat rallying cry. Look, Pat Riley's winning or misery was a bit over the top when it came to championship or bust. But celebrating that you're in the middle of the NBA pack hardly comes off as a badge of honor. Now, if being number 6 is part of a pathway to number 5 and then number 4 and so on, that's another story. But it's not exactly as if the Heat have been trending that way in recent years. Remember, they finished number 10 in the East during the regular season a year ago. So it is nice to say, hey, they've got something to play for in the last however many games. They want to get out of the play-in. But what they're playing for really is not that exciting. It's to be number 6 in the East and probably not have much of a future in the playoffs.
Adebayo, Powell, and Hero. They're not winning the championship. We all know it. We don't want to admit it, but we all know it. Solana might not admit it, but we all know it.
No, I told you guys earlier, like, the results speak for themselves. They can't beat a good team. They're not winning a title. Like, that's not what this team is. They're just not.
And that's the standard that we've had from D-Wade, Shaq to the big three and all. Like, the standard is winning a title. This isn't a title roster.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone in the Heat would argue that, which is why Bam was frustrated last night, which is why I could see Bam asking for a trade at the end of the season, because they are not a title team. They know they're not. They're not trying to fool anybody. The rallying cry is, let's get out of the play-in tournament.
Look, and that's the thing about Bam. I don't want to badmouth Bam. We have a very good number 3. Like, who?
But who's arguing that?
I'm just saying, like, Bam is untradeable. Bam is this. Bam is a 3 on a championship team. Like, and that's the thing. I really enjoy Bam, but we've seen we can't bring Giannis. Dame Lillard thing went crazy, but we can't attach our wagons to Bam Adebayo and say this is this is what we need. No, it's not what we need. He's the captain.
Though, if you can get the right talent around him, he's exactly who you need. I mean, this was but that was like the whole thought of, oh, Dame Lillard. That's exactly who you need. And again, a bigger superstar, but you need a scoring machine, right? Like, so there's certain guys. Bam plays a perfect role for a championship roster. Like, there's a reason that he's untouchable. It's not by stupidity on Pat Riley's part or Eric Spoelstra's part. There's a reason he's been untouchable. He oozes Heat DNA, and he could be such an important piece to a championship roster, but you need the pieces around him to do so.
So the Heat are letting Bam down.
Well, yeah, that's why I kept saying that he might ask for a trade. Of course they've let him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the argument makes sense. I agreed with what you were saying at the beginning of the show, by the way, Hoch, where I could see why Bam's saying, hey, I'm getting...
isn't it the same example, Crowder, of Milwaukee letting Giannis down?
Yes.
We went through the teammates that Giannis has had. Like, you look at it and you go, wow, they haven't put any great pieces around him.
Yeah. And Bam can say the same. I laughed about Chris Middleton, where the best player Giannis ever played was Chris Middleton, where you can't look Giannis in his eyes and said, well, we did give you Chris Middleton. You can't look at Bam and said, we gave you Tyler Hero.
Well, you
Bam
gave him
can
Jimmy
look,
Butler, though. Gave him Jimmy
and that,
Butler.
and but so to him to see Jimmy and see what they did with Jimmy going to the finals, and then looking at the roster, like, and not even bad mouthing any individual player, but you see there's no Jimmys on this roster. Hey, you got Norm, you got Tyler. Yeah, I got Norm and Tyler. Bam would say their names different than anybody else presents them. Like, yeah, I got Tyler. He's Tyler Hero.
Hawk, I think more so than Bam asking out this summer, I think this is him voicing his opinion of, I'm not going to stand for this much longer. And what I was saying earlier, and it's been said several times since the trade deadline, where the game has changed in terms of acquiring talent. Maybe this is his way of voicing his opinion of, hey, clearly your way doesn't really work anymore. It's time to find a new way, because playing tournament berth after playing tournament berth is not what I'm about. I don't think his frustration this season boils over to asking out, but I do think it's fair to assume
if they
that
don't put great pieces around him again, you don't think it boils over?
Solana, honestly, how many good years does Bam, like all-star years, does Bam have left in his career? He's in 9 right now.
Yeah, a lot.
5?
4, 5. I was going to say the same thing, Hawk.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
And that's a contract. 4-year that's a contract. He has one more contract left in him. Am I going to sit down here and hope that Tyler gets better and Norm gets better?
No, he's hoping to bring superstars around him. Like there's no thought that this roster as constructed is a championship roster. No one in the organization, including Bam, Tyler, and Norman, believe that. The question is, can the Heat, the same question for Milwaukee, can the Bucks put people around Giannis that will get him another championship? And the question for Bam is, can the Heat get enough players around him, quality players, to get him a championship? The two are synonymous situations.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick look at the headlines, because Aronde Gadsden II, the son, is joining us this hour, and we get to catch up with OG Jr. after his first season in the NFL. I'm very excited about this. Real quick look at the headlines, brought to you by Durrell Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Durrell Kia or DurrellKia.com.
The Panthers did win yesterday. Great start in their attempt to make the playoffs. They host the Buffalo Sabres tonight, 7 p.m. puck drop. Tomorrow's Heat Rockets game is at 3:30 p.m. It's on Prime Video, so your only local broadcast will be on WQAM. Canes baseball, they host UF, 3-game weekend series. First pitch tonight at Mark Light, 7 p.m. Canes hoops, they host Boston College tomorrow, 2 p.m. Only 3 games remaining on the regular season schedule, including tomorrow. That's their penultimate home game. And Inter Miami is back at it at Orlando City on Sunday after winning their friendly in Puerto Rico yesterday, 2-1. Chaotic conditions in the PR. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is hot, 82 degrees. Tonight, the lows will be in the low 70s. That's your weather.
Very excited about talking to Ronnie in the next segment. Somebody puts on the chat, OG2, did he buy a chimpanzee? Find out next. Let's ask him. Someone remember to ask OG the second if he's following in his dad's footsteps by buying a monkey. Now, granted, Aronde did it after winning a Super Bowl. OG Jr. has only played 1 season in the NFL, but we will find out next if someone remembers to ask him. Aronde Gadsden the second. He is next here on Hochman, Crowder, and Solana.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I'd like to officially go on record. I am wearing underwear today.
The World Baseball Classic is returning
be a fun segment. I've been having Aronde. Now, Crowder's known Aronde forever, but I've been having Aronde Gadsden on my radio shows, the father, the senior, the original, the actual OG, on the radio with me since it's been 15 years probably, on like the regular basis, 15 years. And we were all fascinated this season because Aronde Gadsden the second, who we've seen grow up, had his first season with LA. And we were following Aronde the way that we were following the Dolphins almost.
Uncles,
like
we're uncles. I don't know if you know, little OG. We're your uncles.
Yeah.
we consider ourselves your uncles.
Yeah.
And Aronde completed his first NFL season, had 3 tutties as well, and he's joining us now on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. But the funny part to me is, again, I've been welcoming his dad onto the show for 15 years, and now all of a sudden it's like this passing of the torch. Not a real passing of the torch, because OG, if I told him he wasn't coming on anymore, we're only going to talk to his son. First of all, I don't think the son would be interested in coming on every week anyway, but your dad would your dad would give me hell to pay if I replaced him with you.
Big OG needs that torch. He's not giving the torch to nobody.
No.
But so you finish your first season with the Chargers. What do you do with? I'm guessing you were able to keep your first touchdown pass. Did you get that ball?
Yeah, I kept that ball. I ran back to the sideline with it. I mean, handed it to the equipment guy. They put some stuff on it for the first touchdown, and then gave it back to me the next. So,
and then where do you have it now?
It's still at my house in LA, but I should be able to bring it out here or ship it out here when I get back.
But do you like Lil OG? Because your dad is like a South Florida legend. Everybody loves OG, the Dan Marino connection. Like Lil OG, does that upset you? Because you're OG, but your dad was a star. Like your dad is famous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm the younger one, so I wouldn't be opposed to being called that.
Because Crowder didn't like that, right? You didn't like Little Crowder.
But I changed my name to Channing. My dad went by Randy. My real name is Randolph. My dad's name is Randolph. But when I was growing up, everybody called me Little Randy. And I was like 7 years old, and I told my mom, I was like, I don't want to be called Little Randy. I might have made up a name. I want to be called Pokemon. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I don't want to be called Little Randy. And she was like, well, you can go by Channing. And that's why I don't go by Randy, because my dad, kind of like we are. My dad is famous, and I was Little Randy, and I kept calling me Little, and I'm like, I don't like being called Little Randy.
Yeah, I mean, he's made his own, his own legacy out here with everybody. I mean, there's probably people that just call me by my name. I'd have to make my own. If you guys are with him all the time, you guys are his friends. I wouldn't be opposed to y'all calling me that. But if it was other people that I hang out with, on a daily basis, and then I'd probably say something.
How's LA? How do you like it?
It's a lot like here. It's a lot like Fort Lauderdale, a lot like Miami. A bunch of things to do. The weather's always nice. The beach is always nice. But those taxes. The price of all the housing out there. It just crushes that check that you get every week. Just takes it down every.
Already sounds like his dad.
His dad taught him well. His dad taught him well.
Every week.
What about In-N-Out Burger? You hit In-N-Out Burger at
No,
all?
I had it for the first time when I got out there, and it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like Five Guys. I think Five Guys probably has the best.
Yeah, because you gotta be careful out there. They love their In-N-Out.
I know
burger.
they love In-N-Out. We got a lot of like In-N-Out gift cards. They give us In-N-Out gift cards for stuff, and that's really the only time I've gotten it, when it was free. When they gave me stuff, I've never just willingly just went out there and got it. So I got to see how good it actually is. Got to see.
What was the transition playing in the league, bro? Because I saw you in high school. I saw you in college. And then you get to the league. I didn't see competition until I got to the league where I was looking
Yeah.
at dudes and I'm like, yeah, he's better than me. And that was the
Yeah.
first time I had to realize that. How was the transition to the league?
It was crazy just seeing, you know, like you said, the competition of some of the guys. Like the first time I was in pads, you know, I was a backup, you know, the first time in training camp, obviously. So we'd go against the ones, and I'd be going against Khalil Mack. So you know that's who I looked used to watch playing in middle school, you know, in elementary school. I mean, he's that much older than you, and I mean he's about 6'3", like 270. I mean, he's huge. He's a big dude. So like you got to block him. He's hard to block. He's hard to go against. And you know, that was really the first person that I went against the first day, and I was like, whoa, like it's a lot different. You know, the linebackers, we got Denzel Perryman. He used to go to Miami, so he's smart. You know, he played in the league for about what, like 11, 12 years now. So he knows what's coming, and he's getting a jump on the play before, you know, you even ready to block him. So that even make it that much harder. I think the IQ of all the players is so much harder. Everyone's playing so much faster. Yeah, I just think that equates.
Did you have a welcome to the NFL moment that you remember? Like, I remember before you guys played the Raiders, I don't know if that was like week 12, week 13 after your bye week. I remember Crowder telling your dad, like, he's got to go out and black Max Crosby tomorrow.
Yeah.
OG, like, get ready for that. You know,
Crosby,
big
dude now.
I think Max Crosby, I mean, he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and he's so disruptive with all the stuff that he does, the way that he plays. He plays different than, you know, any other end that we play all season, probably any other end in the league, you know, regardless of what teams we play. He just plays in such an unorthodox way, and he'll jump some stuff and he'll put himself out of position, putting other people out of position, but you know, it'll end up, you know, paying off for him. But I don't think I've had, you know, that moment like a hit or, you know, anything like that. More of like you know, the first two games I was a healthy scratch. So that was just realizing that, you know, I got to push harder to be able to, you know, get in the game and play. Really was the hit.
That first time though, the first snap that you were out there on the field, like, did you take it all in? Were you saying to yourself, like, holy mackerel, I'm playing in a regular season NFL game, or you're just in game mode, you don't even have time to
I
think
was
about
just
that
trying
stuff?
to get locked in because you know, Justin in the huddle, he goes fast. Like he's reading the plays fast, he's going through fast. And sometimes it's hard to keep up. So I was just so focused on, you know, getting the first play that I had in, you know, just getting that down, being able to hear him and get out there and run the play. I was just more nervous than anything.
And speaking of that, like the play calling where it goes through your mind, I see football in lines.
Yeah.
So that, you know, a lot of us see football in lines where it's just my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to have a time, OG, where like you were like, oh damn, this ball's coming to me.
Yeah.
Like this is it's a very high chance that I am the number 1 or 2 target on this play. Did that ever hit you? And you're like, okay, I got to go get it in.
Definitely on the, you know, my first drive, you know, I got a catch, and I didn't really think, you know, since I didn't play those first 2 games, and you know, I didn't have a ton of reps with him in training camp. Like I didn't think like, oh, he'd be looking to throw it to me, you know, most of the game. I came in third down, second and long, any of those type of plays the first time. So I'm like, he's probably gonna throw it to Ladd, he's gonna throw it to Q, he's gonna throw it to Keenan. But you know, I ended that game with, you know, 5 catches, you know, 58 yards. So like I got the ball a lot more, you know, than I expected. And it just kept rolling from there.
OG, when you came down to Miami, I mean, you had to have felt at least some pressure. Maybe you didn't, but your dad was in the stands. Like you had all your family here, and then early in the game, you had that fumble. But then you end up having, you know, probably one of your best games. I think you had 8 catches against the Dolphins. The fumble doesn't end up costing you guys because you guys win.
Yeah.
But when you do fumble the ball, you go back to the sideline. Like, what's that feeling like? Where you're like, damn, the whole fam's here, friends are here.
I was sad
here.
for you because you had your head in your hands, man. I was sad.
I mean, I was sad too. I mean, it didn't make it any better that the first play that they got on offense, you know, A-Chain took it 40 yards for a touchdown. So it was like that tied the game up. But you know, all my teammates, everybody was trying to pick me back up and just let me know, you know, more plays are coming. It was just the first quarter at the time, so that we were just gonna get back into it. But it definitely hurt that, you know, I fumbled, and then the next play, you know, they just hit a deep touchdown, you know, to tie the game up.
8 for 68 in a dub isn't too bad though.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not bad. I mean, but that was after the fact. That was after the fact. I was in the moment. I was in the moment at the time.
Nephew, you made up for it. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. You made up for
yeah.
it.
I made up.
How was Harbaugh? Because I left college. I left Florida, and
Yeah.
Nick Saban was with the Dolphins. So I kind of was okay playing on like in that college atmosphere, and that's when Nick Saban brought to Miami. Is Harbaugh collegey?
Yeah.
Or like did he transition over to the league differently?
No, I think he does a lot of things like it's still college. Like we'll check into the hotel about like, or not the hotel. We'll come to the facility at like 12 o'clock on Saturday for a home game, and you're not going back home after that. Like we just stay in the whole time, meetings, walk through. And, I'm hearing other people on other teams. They come in 8 to 12, 8 to 11, go home, just be at the hotel at 7. We there from 12 all the way, all the way through. We with the team, and he runs things how he runs things. I've heard it was crazier stories last year before I got there. His first year, it was really college like, the what I've heard. But he's a great coach. He's the only guy. Every conversation you have is going to be about football. I mean, like every single one. That's all he's about. And he's always gonna have his polo on. He's gonna have his khakis on. He's gonna have his cleats. Everywhere he go. There's been a time I've seen him in the cold tub, fully clothed, that same outfit. Like
you're gonna have an offensive coordinator who's not gonna wear khakis ever.
No.
Mike McDaniel. He's definitely not gonna be in the boxy khakis. Have you talked with him? You excited about having Mike McDaniel? Because he is an offensive genius.
Yeah. I was talking, when he was up there on his first meeting, before he was officially on there, I talked to him for a little bit. And then I met him 2 times before, I came back home. But he's exactly, what you see in the media. But maybe that's just what I'm saying, because I've only met him 2-3 times. So he was cracking jokes. He was just talking about how fun the offense is going to be, how good he thinks we could be, and I mean, if I could have the seasons that he's had with the tight ends in the past, that would be great. Jonnu Smith, he had Darren Waller this year. He's been with George Kittle before, so if I could have seasons like those, that'd be good.
And now that you've seen it, nephew. Yeah, I told you we're uncles. Now that you've seen the nephew, like what you see what the NFL landscape is. You've played all the good guys. Like you're saying, nobody in the world can block Max Crosby or Khalil Mack. It is what it is. But after you've seen it, like does your expectations go up now? Because now, okay, I know what to expect. And to be honest, nephew, they shouldn't leave your ass in the block Khalil Mack or Max Crosby. You ain't built like that. Like you're not Martellus Bennett. Your ass is a big ass receiver, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. The expectations were definitely high, because I had went. I go against Khalil every day, like I said, like you said. The 2 games I didn't play, I wasn't practicing. Then my first game, we got Nick Benito. So like, that's another guy, quick off the line. And you got Cooper on the other side too, another good player. The next game after that, we got the Giants. We playing Brian Burns, we playing Thibodeau, we playing Abdul Carter. So we played a lot of good D linemen. A lot of also good secondaries. We played the Eagles. We played the Texans. We played a lot of great teams. The expectations for me, I think high for the people I think we're playing against. I think I expect a lot, and you got to prepare for it. You just got to prepare for this.
Is that wild to say? Okay, Max Crosby. Okay, now Abdul Carter, Brian Burns. Okay, so now I'm gonna see. Now I'm gonna go see. Like
Neil Hunter, Will Anderson. We played Nolan Smith. We played Jalen Phillips twice, 2 different times.
Did it normalize? Did it normalize to you that you're just going to see some of the best athletes in the world?
Right, you're in that world now.
Yeah. I mean, we just kept playing them game after game after game. You keep seeing these names that throughout college you looked at, or you've seen them in college. You were like, dang, they look so good, and they've made plays in the NFL. Now you lining up against them. Like when we played the Steelers and Jalen Ramsey's lining up across from me, like. I've watched him for a long time, and I've always thought, he was one of the best DBs. But now he's lining up against me. So, you got T.J. Watt. same thing, same team. You got to block him at some point. Has been one of the best defensive players in the league for some time. So, yeah.
Hit him in the knees. Go low, OG.
Yeah. Can't even do that anymore outside the box.
Don't hit
Can't
him
even
in
do
the
it no
knees.
more.
Don't
all
hit him in
the
knees.
clips my tight end coach used to show me of tight ends blocking open space. They used to always cut the linebackers, always cut the safeties. But now you can't even do that anymore. You can't
That's
get out the box.
That's why Crowder's knees don't work anymore, man.
Yeah, the fullback, you got a halfback lead, and the fullback cuts the linebacker right in the A gap.
Yeah. 4 ACL reconstructions, OG.
You mentioned some of those tight ends that McDaniels work with.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't have to be one of these guys, but do you have a tight end when you were coming into the league, or maybe now you've been through a full season, that you model your game after, that you watch their tape, or you did watch their tape and you say, I want to be like this guy, or I can do things like this guy?
Obviously, Travis Kelce, he's probably the best receiving tight end there is, in the game. And, I see that, or I think that I could do the things that he does. He doesn't do a ton of blocking. He's blocking on the backside. He just running through, cutting them off, making them go backside, or they can run an inside zone on him. He just got to make the defensive end go around, on his side. It's just not all that, but in the receiving game, he's getting open. And I used to say that watching him the first game that we played, and then we played them in week 13. I was thinking, like, they're on a 2-minute drive. Pat Mahomes is already hurt. I'm thinking, why is he always open? Like, how is he open? Gardner Minshew is going to throw him the ball. Like, he's going to throw him the ball, but he's still always wide open every time. So, you go back and you watch the film on, the stuff that he's doing. He runs a ton of, option routes, in, out, up, whatever you want to do, come back down, and the quarterbacks are waiting on him. So, they just have the ultimate trust in him, and they're just waiting for him to get open. I think I could build that, with Justin.
And to that same question, OG, big OG, because we talk to him weekly. Does his advice work? Because we ask him, like, what do you tell little OG about this and that? Like, does it translate for 30 years? The same stuff that he can see? Is it the same? Like, football's football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the same thing when he gives you a little advice on routes or stemming and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think the players are different, and how athletic they are, the style that they play. But I think like you said, football is still football. All the routes are the same. All the plays are the same. All the defenses that the defenses run, they can only run so many coverages. You can only do so many things. So the techniques they play, nothing new has came out. So it's really just the style of play, and that a lot of players have got more athletic. You see the linebackers now running 4.4s. 4.46 by the two dudes from Ohio State. Back then, I don't think, a ton of linebackers were doing that. Not a lot of middle linebackers running no 4.4s at, 6'5". But they also weren't, 240. They were a lot bigger.
Are you trying to hurt my feelings? Or
No.
Different era, CC.
Different things.
Something went viral this season with your dad. Speaking of your dad, he was on our show and mentioned he had drafted you in his fantasy league.
Yeah.
And he had you on the bench, though. And then you had the breakout game. Then you had another great game after that. I think you put up 3 monster games in a row. But your dad was like, yeah, I'm keeping him on the bench. I don't want to mess up any of the vibes that we got going on here. I don't want to make him a starter on my team. So he was missing out on fantasy, but he didn't want to mess up whatever was, athletes are superstitious, whatever was going on. And it went a little bit viral. Do you want him? I don't know if if you're the keeper on his team or not. Do you want to be on your dad's fantasy team next season?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, he could draft me and he can start me, the whole season. I can have a good season, so he could just keep starting me, just keep me in the lineup. I mean, I don't see it from a superstitious standpoint for fantasy, as if you starting someone or not. But that's just how that's just how he is, and he feels that way about a lot of things. You know, he's superstitious about some stuff. So
Did you ever hear from your dad during the season where he would say, "Hey man, I got you starting in fantasy, and you
I don't
put up
think he
enough
did.
numbers for me"?
I don't think he did all season. I don't know if he did, or he never told me anything like that. Never.
You're a young dude, bro. Do you get into the social media stuff? Do you read comments? Do you do all that? Good games, bad games? Because that wasn't a thing when I played. It wasn't a thing about worrying about what people say. You used to go out there and ball. And nowadays, it's a point of life where everybody, all y'all youngins, and I'm an old man now, all y'all youngins, y'all care about comments. Do you go through that?
I mean, I don't post a ton of stuff, so it's not a bunch of people talking about me. You know, if you look through Twitter or anything like that, or under teams post, I mean, we look at that stuff all the time because it's more funny than it is anything. You know, some guys really, he's really upset, like he's really that mad, about how you played or how anyone performed for that matter. You know, like after the playoff game, there was so much stuff about Justin. And he hasn't gotten his his playoff win, and everyone just on him. Every comment you look at, every time you open Twitter, is on there. They got it. They got the algorithm. So like every time you open anything, any social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, any of that stuff, they showing you the stuff that you probably don't want to see, but you end up reading it, and it's more funny than anything. Especially with the people placing bets.
That's me.
Hilarious.
That's me. But I keep it to myself. I don't ever reach out to a player. I keep it to myself. You get recognized a lot in LA?
Yeah. I mean, more than I thought. LA.
How does that feel? You're just walking, in a mall in LA or on a street, and people want to take pictures with you, and they know who you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that people recognize me, and people see that I'm doing good. On the field, off the field, whatever it is, and they see me as someone that they can approach, they can come up to and say something to. But it surprises me more because we got the Lakers, we got the Dodgers, we got the Rams, we got the Angels, we got the Clippers, we got all these teams in this one area, and there's so many players playing, walking around, doing all types of stuff, and they recognize you out of all of them. I mean, it means a lot.
Well, you got your daddy trick, because one time we talked to him, right? And I was like, OG got pretty eyes. He's a good looking young man. He's strapping. He's built. He was like, no. He just goes to the gym every night. I said, OG, he does not go to the gym every night. So whatever you're telling Pops is working, because he thinks all you do is go to the gym every night.
Yeah.
And I know you don't go to the gym every night.
No, I had no comment on that.
Yeah, don't give up any of your secrets on this segment, OG. Don't take Uncle Channing's bait on that one. Just say, yes, sir, I was in the gym. I was in the gym.
Yeah.
Was there, talk about getting recognized and people want to take your picture. Is there anyone where you had a wow moment, like I've got to go up and say hello to this quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, or was there anyone where you were starstruck this first season?
Yeah, I saw Travis Kelce, talked with him after we played them the second time. I didn't say anything the first time. I was just mad enough that I wasn't playing. After the game, I just went straight to the locker room. We were already in Brazil. We had that 14-hour flight, but no one really that I've seen, that I don't know, Pat, Brian, those are guys that, I've seen, growing up. We played on the same team with each other. So I feel like it's so normal. We talked about, how normal it is seeing guys from South Florida really going to the NFL at a high clip, guys year after year, draft after draft from the same high schools. Like it's the same schools, same people you playing with, same people you grow up with. And it's just crazy. I feel like you don't even think about, that you're starstruck seeing all these other guys because you just so normally seeing all these NFL players that you grow up with, go to school with.
What a treat this was. Oronde Gadsden the second. I mean, he's an NFL veteran now. Like,
man, it's crazy to see a little baby become an NFL starting player. It's wild, bro. I saw you when you damn near came up to my waist, and now you're starting in the league. It's cool.
We got to ask OG before you go. Any thought went through your head after that first paycheck to buy a monkey like your dad famously did?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. I got my signing bonus. Obviously, like I said before, that thing got chopped right in half by LA. But not a monkey. I've seen too many videos, monkeys tearing people's faces off.
That's right.
Doing all types of stuff. I don't know how he kept it. I don't know how he kept track of it. Any of that stuff.
Well, he told us the story. He lost track of it. It ended up in
Yeah.
the refrigerator, and he was shivering.
He got stuck in the refrigerator.
One of my favorite stories from your dad. Your dad asked you to buy him anything? What'd you buy him?
I mean, I bought him shoes. I have signed with Nike, so they give us a bunch of free stuff. I let him go on there, get what he wants. Clothes, shoes, any of that stuff.
It's so far. I had a Nike deal, bro. You don't have to say the number.
Yeah.
But somewhere close. So we had $10,000 a year that we can go on their website.
Mm-hmm.
What's the numbers like now? I don't need the exact number. Is it 4, 5, 6, 8 times?
It's probably a good amount higher than that. But my problem was I didn't get the account set up until December. So they were like on June 1st it's reset and nothing rolls over.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
so
I
you
gotta
had to
find
use
a
it
way.
all?
I gotta find a way to spend all this, in 6 months. 5 months. Once May 31st comes, it's done.
Man, I mean, if you want to get a little something for Uncle Marky over here, I don't know if they flag you if you start ordering 9s. But if you feel like getting Uncle Mark a 9 or a 9.5 wide,
No,
if you
they
can,
won't
my
flag.
feet seem
They
to be
won't
getting wider.
Anything on the website. Anything on the website.
Air
You
Monarch.
let them know.
Air Monarch.
Give me a bunch of Air Monarchs. Last me the rest of my life.
That's your shoe?
You're a Monarch guy.
Nah, they make fun of me. That's not my shoe. That's my shoe. Aronde Gadsden II, LA Charger, and a longtime friend via his dad, Aronde. We appreciate the time. Much continued success. Stay in the gym. Don't let Uncle Channing tell you about anything
Go to Uncle
different.
Channing's gym.
Stay
I got a gym in LA. I'll hit you next time I come out there.
Stay in the gym, and we'll be rooting for you again next season. We'll see you, OG.
All right. Thank you for having me.
There you go. Aronde Gadsden II. Let's take a break. We'll come back with the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour on this Friday next.
My gym, we do a lot of hip thrusts.
Yeah.
Ahora sí, los dueños del swing, para que sepa, brother. Ay.
5 o'clock hour is the
like
Funky Buddha happy hour. I mean, a good little music that we used to do in the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour all the time. Funky Buddha, live music this weekend. Tonight, tomorrow night, live music. Bottomless brunch on Sunday. And you know, it's also Aperol Spritz during that bottomless brunch. Just saying.
Lord.
Just saying.
Yeah, let's
Sticky
crash. Let's
treats.
drink a couple Aperol Spritz and crash our truck into a pole.
Sticky Treats, one of Funky Buddha's most requested beers, is back. A rice blonde ale with vanilla that brings a taste not unlike your favorite rice cereal and marshmallow snack. You can find Sticky Treats statewide at a retailer near you as well. And don't forget, F1 starts March 7th, which I believe is that next Saturday, March 7th?
Yes, next weekend.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so next Saturday, F1 gets underway, and Funky Buddha is going to have watch parties all F1 season long. And so you can go there next Saturday and enjoy several specials. They're going to have the races on, and they'll have full sound as well. So Funky Buddha will be your F1 headquarters all season long.
I've fallen in love with F1.
Have you?
Yes, I have. It's so fast. It's like it's not this 200 laps. Like once I've been watching them, when I go to Hard Rock and watch it, now I went to Vegas and I went to Austin. F1 is an amazing event.
Do you watch the Netflix show that made everyone fall in love with it in the first place?
No, we actually had the guy on, the McLaren, the owner of McLaren.
Yeah.
We had him on the podcast when we were doing the the F1 and Pivot had a partnership, and he was talking about that. He was like, "I'm a celebrity now." He said, "I can't walk through an airport. I can't go to a restaurant. People know my face."
Yeah, I've never watched on Netflix, and I really haven't gotten into it either. And like my brother, who was we didn't grow up as race fans at all in the Hochman house. Like he cannot get enough of F1, and it's because of that Netflix show.
Like NASCAR, being from Atlanta and the Bible Belt, like NASCAR was big, and I tried the NASCAR, but it's a 704,000 laps. F1 is like it's like a compact little race, and these dudes do the sprint, and it's fun, man. It really is fun. And I got to ride in the F1 car and all that stuff when I was in Vegas. I've fallen in love with it now. I follow it. Like I'm looking for Lewis Hamilton. Cadillac now has a team, and I'm literally I'm in it. Like I'm waiting to see what Cadillac does.
Well, now you've got a place to watch Funky Buddha the whole season. You hunker up to the bar, and you have the time of your life.
I might not make it to the last lap because this Sticky Treats is too good.
That is some good stuff.
Asia, pick me up, Asia. Come get me.
Did I say on this show yesterday that I was betting Josh Giddey or Modest Buzelis? Do you remember?
You said Giddey.
Yeah, so I said Giddey, and I ended up putting a double unit because I said double unit. Let's do it, Giddey. But my muscle memory bet Modest Buzelis. Like when I went to bet it, I must have tapped Buzelis instead of Giddey. So I get home last night, and I put the Bulls game on, and I look at the box score, and I knew the Giddey over-under, I think, was 15.5 or 16.5. And I thought that I had bet Giddey. I thought I said that on the air. But my muscle memory bet Buzelis over 18.5. So it's like the end of the third quarter, Giddey had like 12 points. And I'm like, well, he's going to go over for sure. And then I look at my bet, and I realize, wait a second, I don't have Giddey. I have Buzelis. Buzelis has 17, and he's 1 of 7 from 3. And then about 50 seconds left in the game. They're out of it. He throws up a junk 3 and hits it and goes over. It was such and Giddey did not go over, by the way.
So you had a lucky win.
I did
hit 2. earlier in the show, when I showed my green Hard Rock bet apps, Hornets to win, Hawks to win, Spurs to win, Timberwolves to win. And I'm hitting them. I'm hitting them on these crazy parlays with 8 or plus point favorites.
So I bet, just so you know, I put in 2 bets for the Panthers. I'm going to the Panthers tonight, so I put on my Panthers hoodie. I did a parlay. Kachuk to record 4 or more shots on goal tonight. Marchand to record 2 or more shots on goal, and Marchand to have over a half a point. I parlayed that, and I also took Lee Sterling's advice. I bet the under, and it was 6.5. I think he may have said 6 when he was on with us, but I said 6. I had it at 6.5 at minus 120. Somebody puts on the chat, Hoch, throwing away winning cash pops, driving into concrete poles, and betting the wrong things. Damn, Hoch. When it goes, man.
I was about to say, Hawk, yeah.
When it goes, it goes.
Some of them vitamins or something. So, get some vitamins.
Ginkgo biloba.
Get some ginkgo biloba.
Let me give you headlines here for the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour, brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. By the way, Solana is going to call the... I think FIU baseball game. Is that where he's going, Jimmy? FIU baseball?
Let me check the text.
I don't know. He's going to do an FIU broadcast, so that's where he is right now. Here's your headlines. So Panthers tonight, puck drops at 7 o'clock. You can hear the game here on 104.3 FM WQAM. It's the Buffalo Sabres in town, and it'll be Tarasov in net for the Panthers, not Bobrovsky, who looked good last night, by the way.
Yeah.
Heat lost in Philly last night. We'll talk with Clay Ferrero this hour about that. Is what it is with the Heat. I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you based on some of the texts and chats that we've gotten today, people are tired of talking about Bam and the Heat. But if you're tired of talking about them on February 27th, I got news for you. The combine is over this weekend, and that's about it.
That's all we got.
Speaking of the combine, Carson Beck is going to throw tomorrow, and he announced that he had a formal interview with the Dolphins, by the way.
This was my thought. I've talked about it before, Hawk, but quickly. Like, performing at the combine, right? You're going out there and people always give you a hard time. Carson Beck has played 5 years in college, 4 at Georgia, 1 at UM. He has 1,390 attempts, 966 completions, 70% completion percentage, 88 touchdowns, 32 interceptions. What more are you going to see him just throwing around the field?
Totally agree.
And that's why I didn't work out. My agent, Joel Siegel, was like, Channing, you have this many, like, they know you can tackle. They know you can run. They know you can cover. The combine is a conspiracy theory. The combine is worthless.
Well,
you can play football or you can't play football.
I think it made more sense years ago when video wasn't so readily available. I mean, you literally were waiting for a videotape to be sent to you, and you had to fast forward it. You couldn't do it the way that, you bookmark it now with digital videos and highlight reels and whatever. In today's day and age, I mean, honestly, do you need to know the length of Ruben Bain's arms? Like, what would you rather know? The length of his arms, or would you rather watch some highlights of him in the season where he's playing against some pretty good opponents and making them look bad?
Hey, Hawk, to that point, I'm going to tell you, there's a 5'10" white kid out of Pampa, Texas, whose arms are as short as a Gatorade bottle, who runs a 4.9 at best, 4.8 if on a good day, and he becomes Zach Damn Thomas. Like, it's
right.
Doesn't, like, that's the thing. It does. You look at a Javon Curse, you look at a certain guy, Randy Moss, 4.2, what he did. I didn't have to know Randy Moss runs a 4.2 to know that every time he gets the ball, it looks like everybody around him standing still on the field. Like, I would say this, Hawk, if Little Chan, he's going to play football when he gets to high school. That was the negotiation between me and Asia. If he has a chance to go to the combine, I'm going to tell him don't go. Like, what are you? If you have a chance, if they invite you to the combine, that means that your film is good enough that they already respect your game. Tell them Google me and go and have a good time, man. Let's go to the Bahamas. We'll go wahoo fishing. Like, what are we talking about?
Wait a second. Now, we just talked to OG Jr. in the last segment, and he was great, by the way, watching him grow up. And now, because Orande texted me, the dad, what did you think? And I said, I think he sounded like a savvy veteran interview.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember being at Twin Peaks with him, and you couldn't get 2 words out of him. But did you just get influenced by talking to OG the second? I'm hearing breaking news here that little Chan is going to go to football after being baseball heavy for the last however many years?
No, Hawk. Second sport.
Oh, okay.
Second sport, yeah. When I saw Mike Trout sign the $444 million and saw Shohei sign the $700 million, those were bookmarks in me and Little Chan's relationships where I woke him up to show him, hey, man, go hit this damn ball and let's see what happens.
But he just wants to play football. He got it
wants in him. His grandfather is a multi-time All-American. His dad's an All-American. We both went to the league. He wants to try football. So Asia gave in a little bit and said once he gets to 9th grade, he can go out and play a little football and see what happens.
All right, a little breaking news here in the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour. Heat tomorrow. They play at 3:30. The game is on Prime Video. The radio broadcast on 104.3 FM WQAM is your only local broadcast. That is tomorrow afternoon, Heat and Rockets. You've got Canes Hoops tomorrow. They host Boston College. That game's on ACC Network. If you want to watch it, you can listen to it on 560. Canes baseball, it is a big one starting tonight. First pitch, 7 p.m. at Mark Light. Canes and Gators. Gators, number 10 in the nation. Canes, number 17. Jimmy is throwing up the U.
Jimmy,
Lee
you do what you want with
Sterling
your
is
hands.
going out there. The Mark Light Shake that has been introduced for tonight for the opponent features gator meat in it. Gator bites.
Get you a gator bite.
Nah.
And get a little bite of them gators, son.
I'm good. So that's tonight, 7 p.m. at Mark Light. It is a 3-game series between the Canes and the Gators. I saw something on the show sheet. We've talked all week about how to, fix the tanking problem in the NBA. I don't know what this league is. What's the PWHL, Jimmy? You know what that is?
Nope.
Is it Professional Women's Hockey League? Like, I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
PWHL.
It is. Yeah.
Right, Jimmy, you don't know.
No, I do know.
Are you just saying that? Or are you...
No, for real. Like,
okay.
it just slipped my mind for a second.
Well, here's the PWHL draft rules. And tell me if this wouldn't solve NBA tanking. When a team is mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, they begin collecting draft points for each win. So you've been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Now when you win, you get a draft point. At the end of the season, the team with the most draft points gets the top pick. Second most points gets the second pick, so on and so forth. And so actual really bad teams that get mathematically eliminated earlier are incentivized not to lose anymore. They have more opportunities to collect draft points, right? The earlier you're mathematically eliminated, the more chances you have to collect draft points. But in order to collect the draft points, you have to win the games. And so when bad teams play each other later in the year, they feel compelled to play hard and win that game. Because if you win that game, you get a draft point, which might get you the top pick.
Man, I'm a loophole guy.
Sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
A lot of sense.
So now, even if you're playing a team that's going to the, like, this team's way better than us, let's go whoop their ass and get higher, lower
Get a
pick
higher
in the
draft
I
pick.
guess. Yeah, a higher draft pick, a better player. That's genius. Adam Silver, who probably won't pay attention because he's not the brightest crayon in the box, but I've never heard of that. That makes a lot of sense.
Right? I mean, that seems like so logical. Someone will figure out a loophole, I guess. But the truth, like, so you might be incentivized to lose quicker because you have more opportunities then to accrue draft points. But very few teams are going to throw away their season after 10 games, after 15 games. Now, you may, because of injuries and whatever, notice 23, 26 games into the season. So maybe, but it still takes a while to be mathematically eliminated. It's an 82-game season. So it seems pretty brilliant to me.
Tank now after the All-Star break. So the Heat tank, they get they're 14th in the East, and then they start winning. But it's the whole tanking thing. Hey guys, we're not gonna win 10 games, and then once we lose these 10, now we're about to start winning people's asses. It's gonna be a tough dance to have with professional athletes out there.
I like it.
No. That's genius. Where you have to. I don't like the lottery ball thing. The ping pong lottery pick thing, like that doesn't make any sense.
Your weather in Miami right now, 79 degrees and sunny. It's going to be a nice night tonight. Get down to the low 70s, maybe even touch 69, Jimmy.
Nice.
And tomorrow, 55% chance of rain in Miami, low of 69.
Nice.
And a high of 84. Clay Ferrero is going to join us in the next segment. We can talk some hoops and hockey and football and whatever you want with Clay from Local 10. Low testosterone, that's a real issue for many men. It can lead to poor sleep and low energy and brain fog, reduce sex drive, make it difficult to stay in shape. We all know a healthy body plays a major role in overall health and well-being, and that is where Atlantic Men's Clinic comes in. I go there for a testosterone shot. I'm thrilled that I do it. I wish I'd started sooner, to be honest. If you're feeling sluggish, just not like you used to feel, I recommend testosterone treatments at Atlantic Men's Clinic. And more than that, Atlantic Men's Clinic can help men lose weight, support metabolism, improve gains in the gym, and more with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more. With the low T treatments combined with the body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, a renewed sex drive as well. In your early to mid-30s, guys, you start losing about 2 to 3% of your testosterone production every year. So it's gradual, but then before you know it, you just don't feel like the same guy you did in your 20s or 30s. You will notice it. You'll notice it. Decreased sex drive. You're putting on weight. You go to sleep right after dinner. You wake up feeling tired. I mean, if you've got those symptoms, schedule a consult with Atlantic Men's Clinic. They have 7 locations in South Florida. Call them at 877-455-7300. 877-455-7300, or you can visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Woke up this morning, got me some gabagool. Then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool.
WQAM brought